Apocalypse. In the first 7 days, I frantically stockpile 300 billion in supplies. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 151 Instant Destruction. Xiao thought for a while and nodded. Xiao Fan looked at the cheery crowd exchanging glasses, but his heart was very restless. For some reason, he always had a very bad premonition, as if something bad was about to happen. Zhang Weilin asked, "There seems to be something wrong with your expression." Xiao also looked at Xiao Fan with great concern. Xiao Fan smiled and said, "I have nothing to do. You guys have a good time celebrating here. I'll go outside the base to have a look." Xiao was actually a little puzzled. She didn't foresee any danger. Why did Xiao Fan look worried? Xiao said, "How about I go out with you to have a look?" Xiao Fan thought for a while, then nodded in agreement. Zhang Weilin didn't follow. She stayed behind. Xiao Fan and Xiao walked outside the base and saw Fang Min and Yu Wenli practicing their fighting skills. Yu Wenli stabbed Fang Min's neck with a bone spear, and Fang Min flew back into the air. Xiao Fan said with a smile, "I said that if you just practice fighting skills like this, it will be a trick all your life, and it will be of no practical use." Fang Min flew to Xiao Fan's side and asked, "I think our fights are very effective, and I personally feel that our fights are very exciting." Yu Wenli also said, "Then tell me how we should practice." Xiao Fan felt his heart sink again. He looked at Xiao and asked, "Do you have any premonition?" Xiao also paid attention to it at this time, closed her eyes slightly, and concentrated on feeling it. Suddenly she opened her eyes suddenly, and then said calmly, "The thing that should come has finally come. I feel overwhelming danger coming from the deep space, and it will soon reach our planet." Xiao Fan looked at Yu Wenli and Fang Min and said, "You two go back to the base. Everyone in the base is celebrating. Don't disturb their interest for now. You can also celebrate together." Yu Wenli snorted, "It doesn't matter, I'll stay here. I have participated in many so-called celebrations before, but I am not really interested in such activities. It doesn't matter whether I participate or not. It makes more sense to stay outside and be your helper in case something happens." Fang Min smiled and said, "I also feel that my stage is not at the celebration meeting, but here. I don't care what kind of danger may happen here. I will stand up for myself, no matter how dangerous the enemy is. I have to overcome the fear in my heart and face it bravely." Xiao Fan sighed softly and said, "Fang Min, you should go back. Your skills are not suitable for fighting yet." Fang Min said angrily, "How could you be like this? You just don't mean what you say. As you said before, you will lead me through many battles, and then let me go through one after another. In the end I can grow up smoothly, and now you let me escape when I encounter danger. Do you think I will grow up smoothly like this?" Xiao Fan suddenly hugged Fang Min and said, "You are right, but you will become very, very dangerous. Do you really not regret it? Maybe you are the most dangerous one among us. Don't you worry. I think you'd better go back. There are too many enemies this time. And we don't need to face the enemy head-on. As long as the enemy doesn't directly attack us, I won't provoke them." Fang Min replied very firmly, "According to what you said, I will not go back. Since the enemy does not provoke us, we will not provoke them. Do you think there is any reason for me to return to the base? Just let me stay here. There is always a price to pay for growth. I can still understand this." Xiao Fan didn't say anything, just nodded and agreed. Yu Wenli didn't leave either. She looked up at the sky, but she didn't notice anything. Suddenly Xiao shouted, "We can't stay outside anymore. We must return to the base now, and we must close the base immediately." Immediately, Xiao Fan had doubts in his heart, but he didn't ask why, and immediately followed Xiao back to the underground fortress, and sealed off the underground fortress, because he knew that Xiao would definitely not ask for such for no reason. In fact, they just blocked the underground fortress, and a heavy rain poured down, but it was not rain, but the corrosive liquid spit out by the interstellar iron beetle, densely covering the entire surface of this planet, and I don't know how many buildings on the surface and the creatures that had no time to escape suffered, and were instantly corroded into piles of garbage. This is the real apocalypse. Many human beings survived. It is a great blessing to be able to survive 1/10 of this time. The interstellar iron beetle's attack this time was very vicious, destroying almost 90% of the entire planet, without any scruples, and destroying 90% in an instant. Su Xia's whole face became very pale, she gasped for breath, her eyes were full of fear, and scenes of extremely miserable tragedies flashed through her mind. She saw countless babies being killed instantly. The corrosion turned into liquid, and she saw those parents who had no time to cry and also turned into liquid. She saw high-rise buildings collapse instantly, she saw countless forest vegetation disappear instantly, and she saw countless birds and beasts instantly turn into waste liquid. She closed her eyes tightly, not wanting to see this miserable scene, but these scenes kept appearing in front of her eyes, in fact, in her mind. So even though she closed her eyes tightly, but it is of no use at all, she was still watching clearly. But she was powerless to stop it, which made her feel even more painful, and she even had an urge to end her own pain. Xiao Fan and Fang Min also saw Su Xia's pain, but they were all helpless, they didn't know how to help. This is the sorrow of a special ability. You have this ability, you have to bear it. The side effects of this ability. This is the fate that no one with any ability can escape. Chapter 152 The Outstanding Lin Xiao. Su Xia finally opened her eyes slowly, and the expression on her face gradually returned to calm, but her face was very pale, bloodless pale. She looked at Mu Hong, who had just walked beside her, and said, "My good sister, help me to rest for a while." Mu Hong supported Su Xia to leave, and Mu Ying also left. Xiao Fan glanced at Yu Wenli and said, "Tell everyone what happened outside, and remember that everyone should not leave the underground fortress if they have nothing to do. The end of the world has really begun." Yu Wenli didn't have any mood to say a word, nodded and left. Fang Min looked at Xiao Fan and asked, "Xiao Fan, do you think it is possible for us to get out of the underground fortress in the future?" Xiao Fan also knew that this woman was a little frightened, so he hugged her gently and said, "Don't worry, we will soon walk out of the underground fortress again, we will kill more interstellar iron beetles, and we will regain our own planet, expel all these demons." Xiao Fan has never had such lofty ambitions before, but at this moment he really has such lofty ambitions, because he suddenly understands a truth. No matter how strong his underground fortress is, even if he lives for 10,000 years, the whole planet does not restore peace, and people around me are still living in fear. If he wants the people around him to live a truly stable life, he needs to change the entire planet, and drive out all the interstellar iron beetles. Fang Min looked at Xiao Fan and said, "I'm so scared now, I want it." Xiao Fan picked up Fang Min and left. He will try his best to comfort this woman. In the big meeting room, everyone is very quiet now. They all heard Yu Wenli's words. The world outside the underground fortress is actually experiencing brutal destruction, and it is unprecedented destruction. Everyone's heart is very heavy, and everyone's heart feels extremely depressed. Some people with poor psychological quality, even if they have awakened their abilities, feel that it is difficult to breathe. This is why not every power awakener is a powerful fighter. Perhaps awakening powers is the prerequisite for becoming a strong fighter, but without a tenacious mind, one can never become a real fighter. Seeing the bewildered expressions on many people's faces, Lin Xiao stood up at this moment. Lin Xiao said loudly, "I know that many of you are feeling very panic in your heart now, feeling that the end is really coming. Our strength is indeed too weak, compared with those interstellar iron beetles that overwhelmingly come from outside. Our strength is indeed very weak. I don't want to deceive you, I feel very scared at the moment. But what I want to tell you is that no matter how scared we are, we must be strong now." Everyone looked at Lin Xiao. Lin Xiao said more forcefully, "Will the enemy let us go because of our fear? Will the enemy be kind to us because of our panic? Will the enemy spare us because we are weak? No, absolutely not. They will only destroy us even more cruelly, and plunder everything on this planet even more cruelly, which originally belonged to us. Since our weakness is of no use, since our panic cannot be exchanged any mercy, so why should we panic? Why?" Lin Xiao looked at everyone and sent out a sole question. Lin Xiao didn't wait for everyone to answer, and continued, "Panic doesn't mean anything to us. What's more, our future is not completely dark. We have President Xiao to lead us forward. And President Xiao can lead us to a bright future. The future, I have strong confidence in it. Do you have any?" All the people answered with one voice yes. This is everyone's heartfelt words. Xiao Fan at this time is really the only hope for them, and it can also be said to be the only light in this dark doomsday. Lin Xiao said loudly, "I believe that under the leadership of Mr. Xiao, as long as we can overcome the fear in our hearts and turn ourselves into a strong fighter, we will definitely be able to create a miracle of winning more with less. This is not impossible. Mr. Xiao can break into the enemy's base with his own strength, and he can also kill all the enemies, and bring back so many spoils smoothly, helping us awaken the power? Why can't we become the same as Mr. Xiao? After listening to this, many people began to think in their hearts, Lin Xiao's is very reasonable, he is also a power awakener now, why can't he have a strong heart? If I have been unable to overcome my inner fear and make myself more brave, then what is the significance of awakening my abilities? Wasn't it because I had the chance to become a strong person that I cheered for my ability to awaken before? Although the awakening of abilities is the prerequisite for becoming a strong person, if you don't overcome your inner fear, you will never be able to become a real strong person. I want to become a real strong man. This goal has become a kind of inner appeal of everyone at this time. Lin Xiao shouted more forcefully, although I, Lin Xiao, am the second person in charge, I am not a strong person just like you. I swear in front of you now that I will work hard to become one, a real fighter. I hope you can all supervise me, and I will supervise you too, so that we can grow together under the supervision of each other, and become a qualified fighter earlier, following Mr. Kill the enemy together, supervise each other, grow together, and kill the enemy together. All of a sudden, neat and loud slogans sounded in the large meeting room. Everyone was very excited, everyone had a heart to become stronger. Lin Xiao, as the second person in charge of the underground fortress, has played a very good role as a leader at this time. He has calmed down everyone's fear, and he has done a very good job of dispelling this fear. Grooming becomes the pursuit of a strong heart. At this moment I have to say that Lin Xiao is a qualified leader. At the very least, he is more qualified than a certain person. Now that person is the first person in charge but is only trying to help a woman. Compared with Lin Xiao, it is shameless. Chapter 153 Stop attacking first. They are all nobles of the interstellar iron beetle, and they are nobles with high status. A nobleman of the interstellar iron beetle said, everything on the surface of this planet will be destroyed, but why hasn't the original civilization energy of this planet appeared? Could it be that she just watched her planet being destroyed in front of us? Very unreasonable, very unreasonable. It was really hard for him to figure it out. Their original judgment was that although the original civilization of this planet was hidden, as long as they ordered the large-scale destruction of everything on the surface of this planet, the original civilization should show up and try to stop them. Although there may be a big war, my side will also cause certain losses, but in the end my side will definitely win and control the original civilization of this planet. But everything that happened to the eyes told them that their original assumptions were completely wrong, and the original civilization did not appear at all. Why did this happen? Another aristocrat of the interstellar iron beetle said, is there a possibility that the original civilization of this planet suddenly disappeared? At the moment we lost track of her whereabouts, she didn't actually hide, but died. So now even though this planet is being destroyed by us, it can be explained that the original civilization still has not appeared. The first interstellar iron beetle nobleman retorted, it will definitely not be such a result. The original civilization of this planet is very powerful. If she was not so powerful, we would not have chosen the original civilization of this planet to help. We incubate our offspring. How could such a powerful original civilization die so easily? This is absolutely impossible. The original civilization of this planet must still be alive, just well hidden. The second interstellar iron beetle nobleman said, there is no reason. Everything on the surface of this planet has been destroyed by us. What reason does she have to continue to hide? The original civilization energy of this planet is closely related to this planet, and they are interdependent, the relationship of mutual survival. If this planet is completely destroyed by us, what is the point of hiding the original civilization energy of this planet? Even if she continues to hide, she will eventually perish. Another aristocrat of the interstellar iron beetle said, perhaps there must have been some accidents, which we have not grasped. Now it is meaningless for us to continue to destroy this planet, because we are not trying to destroy this planet, but to force the original civilization energy of this planet to show up. So far, the original civilization energy of this planet still hasn't shown up, so we should stop attacking. The other interstellar iron beetle nobles agreed one after another, and the attacks of countless interstellar iron beetles stopped at the same time in an instant. They did this not to represent how kind they are, as they themselves said, their fundamental purpose is to capture the original civilization energy of this planet. As to whether to destroy this planet is not what they care about, of course. If the energy of the original civilization is captured by them, it will be meaningless to destroy or not destroy this planet. But before the original energy of civilization is caught, this planet still has a certain existence value. At least this planet can be used as a bait to capture the original energy of civilization on this planet, another aristocrat of the interstellar iron beetle said angrily. Those damned idiots have lost all contact. I am afraid they have all died on this planet. There must be a lot of awakened supernatural beings on this planet, and they are very powerful supernatural beings, otherwise, it is impossible to kill all those idiots. Maybe the disappearance of the original energy of this planet is related to these powerful people? Can we start with the awakened powerful people on this planet? Maybe we can finally find the original civilization energy of this planet. The first interstellar iron beetle nobleman said, what you said is very reasonable. We can indeed start from this angle and be able to kill our subordinates. Although our subordinates are indeed stupid, it is enough to prove that those supernatural powers, the powerful strength of the awakened ones, also proves that the original energy of civilization is related to them. The second interstellar iron beetle nobleman said, but how do we get it? How can we find those damn powerful supernatural beings? They must be hiding somewhere now, and they won't show up to us. It is not easy to find them who are fighting. The first interstellar iron beetle noble sneered, this is not a difficult task for us, and it is even a very easy task. It is not difficult to find them, but the difficulty is how to treat them after finding them out. If they fight us directly, do we just kill them all? Or capture them alive? The second interstellar iron beetle nobleman said, this is indeed a dilemma for us. If we kill them all directly, we may lose the clue of the energy of the original civilization of this planet forever. If we capture them alive and interrogate them, it will insult our noble status. That's right, these interstellar iron beetle nobles think that capturing the lowly humans on this planet alive is an insult to their noble status. If Xiao Fan knew about the conversation between them, he would definitely go berserk. These nobles are even more arrogant, much more arrogant than the two previous nobles. Another interstellar iron beetle noble said, actually, we can adopt some devious strategies, find some followers from this planet, modify these followers, and then let these followers help us find the most powerful alien on this planet, those who can awaken, and then let these followers successfully break into these supernatural beings, and help us find out the hiding place of the energy of the original civilization of this planet, so that our identity will not be insulted, and we don't have to fight with those humble. How do you feel about dealing directly with humans? After listening to the other interstellar iron beetle nobles, they all nodded in agreement. This is also a good choice for them. Don't look at what they said. To capture the superhuman being alive is an insult to their identity. In fact, they also have no idea in their hearts. This situation has also been encountered in conquering other planets before. The captured captives are not willing to give in, and some captives even yell at them. This is what makes these interstellar iron beetle nobles really unbearable. Of course, there is a deeper reason, which is that these interstellar iron beetle nobles are unwilling to speak out, and tacitly maintain a tacit understanding. Chapter 154 Want to kill them. And her human incarnation, Xiao Li, doesn't even know that she is also the original civilization energy of this planet, so of course she won't show up. In fact, the first plan of the interstellar iron beetle has completely failed at this time. Xiao Fan had already comforted Wang Min, and he went to find Su Xia, who happened to come out of her room at the moment. She saw Xiao Fan hurriedly said, the attack from outside has stopped. Xiao Fan was overjoyed when he heard the news. No matter what the reason for the interstellar iron beetle to stop attacking, it was good news for this planet. Xiao Fan said, I'll go out and have a look. Su Xia immediately stopped her and said, it's still very dangerous outside. You absolutely can't go out at this time. You underestimate the interstellar iron beetle too much. Xiao Fan patted Su Xia's shoulder with a smile and said, don't worry, I know it well. I am more experienced than anyone else in dealing with those interstellar iron beetles. Xiao Fan turned around and left. Su Xia wanted to stop her, but she opened her mouth and didn't say anything. Xiao Fan didn't say hello to anyone else, and went straight out of the underground fortress, and the outside had turned into ruins. Really, completely ruins. Although it was destroyed a lot by the interstellar iron beetle before, at least it is not as miserable as it is now, and there is no good place to look up. Moreover, the corrosive liquid of the interstellar iron beetle that still remains on the surface is still very corrosive, but it doesn't have much impact on Xiao Fan. He has been fighting in the last days for 50 years, and his body has already built up incomparable toughness, and he has a strong immunity to it. What's more, walking with 2 bone spears can guarantee safety. Xiao Fan originally planned to go back to the base just after looking around. but suddenly he changed his mind, because he saw a few black spots flying far away in the sky, which might be interstellar iron beetles. Xiao Fan also turned into an interstellar iron beetle in an instant, and flew high into the sky. He never found the language incubator. This was really a fucking mistake, but it has nothing to do with it. Xiao Fan was very unwilling to search again in her supernatural space, and she also wanted to find a language incubator. Not to mention, God helped Xiao Fan this time. It really made Xiao Fan find a strange little thing. This thing no entity is more like a small point of light, so Xiao Fan ignored it before, but now he has found out. Xiao Fan does not care about what this thing is, whether it is a language incubator, or has other negative effects. Directly plug it into your own ears desperately. Immediately he heard many voices that he could understand, voices that he had not heard before. What's the matter with that guy in front? We sent so many inquiries to him, why didn't he reply a single message? Does he think he is a noble nobleman? Even if he is a noble nobleman, but I am also a nobleman, my lord, please don't be in a hurry. Maybe the lord in front has also encountered some kind of situation, so I haven't had time to answer, my lord. I'll send him another question. Please wait patiently, my lord. What kind of misunderstanding occurs is not a pleasant thing. Xiao Fan also understood at this time. It turned out that the other party had also discovered him. And he had been asking himself questions using the special contact method of the interstellar iron beetle, but he had never responded, which made the interstellar iron beetle on the opposite side very dissatisfaction. At the same time, Xiao Fan secretly felt fortunate that he found the prophecy incubator at this very critical moment. This is a very lucky thing for him, and maybe he can use this to better deceive the other party. At this time, I heard more clearly, my lord on the opposite side, please inform me of your identity and the mission you are performing. The aristocratic Lord Mushu next to me needs you to inform me of this information. Xiao Fan finally understands that there is an interstellar iron beetle aristocrat on the opposite side, but he doesn't need to ignore him. He is also in the form of an interstellar iron beetle aristocrat now. Since everyone is an aristocrat, why should I talk to you? Xiao Fan snorted coldly and said angrily, get out of here, my lord is on a special mission, I don't have time to waste time with you, don't stand in my way, or you will bear the consequences. My lord's identity is very confidential, you are not qualified to know, let alone let me report it. What Xiao Fan said was quite tough, absolutely without any ambiguity. If you pretend to be awesome in front of me, I will be more awesome than you. The Mushu aristocratic interstellar iron beetle on the opposite side couldn't help being furious when he heard Xiao Fan's reply. Although his status is not too high, and he is not considered a high level among the interstellar iron beetle nobles, his dignity does not allow Xiao Fan such blasphemy. Seeing this guy is about to explode, Xiao Fan is actually ready for the conflict. If the other party dares to come at him, he will directly kill all these interstellar iron beetles. Originally, this is Xiao Fan's goal. Of course, now he has suddenly found a language incubator, and he can communicate with the other party smoothly. It is of course a more wonderful result to get more information from the other party. Seeing that the nobles around him were about to get angry, the ordinary interstellar iron beetle who spoke hastily said, Master Mushu, you must not be angry. Maybe the adults opposite really have special identities, such as the Imperial Guards? Mushu's face changed obviously when he heard it. Jianwei Xianchuan. These 4 words were like a bolt from the blue to him. Even if he was a nobleman, he would definitely not be able to offend the Jianwei Xianchuan. They belonged to the regiment. It was a secret force controlled by the upper echelons of their interstellar iron beetle nobles, and they carried out extremely special missions. Moreover, in the process of carrying out the task, he has incomparably huge power. In order to ensure the completion of his task, he will not be held accountable for any actions he makes. That is to say, the guy on the opposite side is really from the Imperial Guards, and he is performing a special mission. Don't look at yourself as a nobleman. He will not be held accountable, and his own death will be in vain. Because of this, Mushu became very cautious, and the temper that he wanted to lose was suppressed forcibly by himself. Even if he wanted to lose his temper, he had to find out the real identity of the guy opposite, otherwise, he would not give up for no reason. Did he cause a big trouble for himself? Mushu hasn't lived enough yet. Chapter 155 Misidentified. Xiao Fan originally wanted to use some words to get some information, but now he has no such idea at all, and instead asked directly, inform me of your identities and tell me the mission you are performing. At this time, He and the interstellar iron beetle on the opposite side were already face to face. There were more than 20 of them, and Xiao Fan was alone, but Xiao Fan's aura seemed to be stronger than the 20 of them. It was precisely this kind of aura that made the other party feel very uncertain, and Musu even drummed in his heart. Did he really meet the Imperial Guards? I was really unlucky for 8 lifetimes. I wanted to come out to carry out the mission to show off my might, but just as soon as I came to this planet, I met the Imperial Guards, and I was unlucky for 8 lifetimes. Xiao Fan looked at the flickering eyes of the other party, but no one answered him, and felt very surprised in his heart, why the other party was not angry, and since he was not angry, why didn't he answer himself immediately? Is it because my attitude is not arrogant enough? It seems that I have to be more arrogant. Xiao Fan said angrily, did I say that you are all deaf one by one? Didn't you hear my question clearly? I will ask you to report your identities and tell me what tasks you are performing. If you were all deaf and dumb, your existence would be worthless. Musu's subordinate hurriedly said, my lord, please wait a moment, we will immediately report our identities to you. Then he looked at Mushu and reminded him in a low voice, my lord, the nobleman on the opposite side is really angry. We must immediately inform him of our identities and the tasks we are performing, otherwise if he really comes from the Imperial Guard Heavenly Group, we are really going to be unlucky. Musu also recovered after being reminded by his subordinates, and hurriedly said, I am Mushu, a second-level nobleman, and I am currently carrying out a task assigned by the headquarters. I want to find some reliable followers on this planet, and then treat these followers to transform. Let these followers help us complete some tasks. After Xiao Fan listened to it, he began to scold his mother in his heart. What kind of followers of shit, that is, their mother is here to find his own dog. It seems that he has to mix it up and see how many people are willing to be theirs dog. Then kill these guys who are willing to be dogs in the most cruel way. Xiao Fan can't be said to be a person who hates all evil, but in this situation he especially hates traitors. Any of us traitors are his direct enemies. Xiao Fan thought for a while and said, our army has come to this planet. There is nothing we can't do. What followers are we looking for? Musu hurriedly explained, I don't know why the headquarters would arrange such a mission, but I heard some gossip that the energy of the original civilization of this planet could not be found, completely lost its trace. So the headquarters I just assigned such a task. I want to transform some reliable followers to help us find out the original civilization energy of this planet. Xiao Fan sneered, why do some dogs do this kind of task? Can't we do it ourselves? Musu was surprised and said, excuse me, are you also carrying out a mission of searching for the energy of the original civilization of this planet? Has the Imperial Guard Heavenly Group already carried out this mission in person? Guard Heavenly Regiment, what is this thing? Xiao Fan heard this term for the first time, and of course he couldn't understand what the Guardian Heavenly Group meant. But looking at the very serious and respectful expression on the face of the guy opposite, it can be judged that this Imperial Guard group should be a very powerful and special organization. Since the other party misunderstood his identity, why should he make the mistake? Play a good show with these guys, maybe I can get more unexpected gains. Xiao Fan immediately made up his mind, so he said seriously, is my identity something you can say casually? Shut up, if you dare to talk nonsense again, I don't mind punishing you severely. Xiao Fan said this sentence on purpose. He wanted to use this sentence to test how powerful the so-called Imperial Guards really are. In the end, Xiao Fan was not disappointed. Hearing Xiao Fan's stern warning, Musu's expression immediately became panicked, and he realized that he had slipped his tongue. Say the name. If the other party seizes this point and punishes him severely, or even kills him, no one will make decisions for him. Musu felt very helpless. Was he a little too stupid? And when talking to this guy in front of him, he had to be more careful. Never let the other party catch him anymore. Musu hurriedly said with a smile on his face, I'm sorry, sir. I didn't offend you intentionally, but I accidentally offended you. Please forgive me. I don't know what orders you have. If you don't have any orders, we will leave, to carry out our own mission. After all, the task assigned to us by the headquarters is very urgent. We dare not delay in the slightest. Of course, if you need our help, just ask. Musu wants to leave here as soon as possible, and try not to deal with the people who guard heaven if he can. This is for his own safety. Xiao Fan sneered and said, don't worry, I still want to understand some things with you. I don't know what the command thinks. Why do you have to use followers to find the original civilization energy of this planet? You can't, or are you looking for it? Xiao Fan wants to find out more information. Musu hurriedly explained, I don't know the exact reason, but according to my guess, our army can't stay on this planet for a long time. We must find the original civilization energy of this planet as soon as possible, and then reproduce our offspring. We must immediately leave and join our race defense. Xiao Fan was secretly surprised after hearing this. He didn't expect to get such an important situation by accident. The situation of the interstellar iron beetle itself doesn't look good. What kind of race defense battle? Could it be that the interstellar iron beetle has encountered a war of extermination? If so, who is the enemy of the interstellar iron beetle? If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 156. The headquarters are afraid of death. More clues must be obtained. Xiao Fan made up his mind at this moment. Xiao Fan pretended to be surprised and asked, has our racial defense war reached a very serious moment? When Mushu heard this question, he showed a very strange expression. Xiao Fan knew that Fang began to doubt himself, because he didn't know anything about the situation of the race defense war, which made the other party doubtful. In order to dispel the other party's suspicion, Xiao Fan said, I have been on this planet for a long time to carry out secret missions, and I can't tell you more about the specific situation. So what is the current situation of the racial defense war? I know nothing. Musu's doubts in his heart were dispelled after he listened to it, so it made sense. Otherwise, as the Imperial Guards, it would be impossible for them not to know what the current situation of the race defense war is like. Musu sighed softly and said, the situation of the race defense war is very bad now, otherwise the headquarters would not have brought a large force here without capturing the original energy of this planet. Just to save as much as possible, time for our large army to breed here and leave immediately. Xiao Fan heard a lot of helplessness from the other party's answer. I am afraid that the army of interstellar iron beetles came here in a hurry not just to save time. Time can be saved here, but if you can't find the original civilization energy of this planet, wouldn't it be a waste of time? Xiao Fan tentatively asked, is the situation so bad? The command is doing this to save time, but the most fundamental thing is that there won't be enough troops to breed, right? The look in Musu's eyes dimmed when he heard it. He actually thought of this, but he didn't dare to say it. Xiao Fan sighed softly and said, tell me in detail what is going on in the racial defense war? I've been out for a long time, and I'm really worried. I can't wait to go back to fight and defend our command, protect our race. Xiao Fan made a generous statement, which moved Musu very much, and he couldn't help but feel a little more admiration in his heart. The Imperial Guard Heavenly Group is worthy of being the Imperial Guard Heavenly Group, and each of them has a very strong sense of responsibility, and such consideration for his own race made Mushu feel ashamed. He came to this planet with the army this time. In fact, he took the back door. In the final analysis, it was a kind of escape. He didn't want to participate in the race defense war, and he didn't want to die like that. Comparing his behavior with the members of the Imperial Guards in front of him, Musu felt very ashamed. At this time, in the depths of his heart, he has completely confirmed that Xiao Fan is a member of the Imperial Guards. There is no longer any doubt, and there is still a lot of admiration in his heart. He showed a very sad look in his eyes and said, those giant beasts that have been attacking us may not be our enemies. I mean, they are not our real enemies. They are just human slave warriors. It is said that this time someone seeing our real enemy, it is indeed human beings. He brought a powerful army of behemoths, and launched a full-scale attack on our planet. Our planet is likely to be lost. Xiao Fan was shocked after hearing this. The reason why the interstellar iron beetle came to his own planet was because it was driven by other humans, and when the other party said the word human, could it be the same human as himself? Xiao Fan pretended to be very curious and asked, what do you mean by human beings? Are they as weak as this planet? How is this possible? These lowly human beings will only be slaughtered by us when they face us. How could our planet and our race be destroyed in the hands of these lowly humans? Musu smiled bitterly and said, Your Excellency, when I first heard the news, I was as shocked as you. I couldn't believe my ears, but it was true. It's just that the human beings who attacked us were not this. The humans on the planet have nothing to do with the humans on this planet, but powerful humans from other civilizations. Humans who are far stronger than us are not comparable to the humble humans on this planet. Xiao Fan asked, have you found out clearly, which civilization did those humans come from? Musu shook his head and smiled wryly. The other party is too powerful, and our intelligence system is too limited. We can't find out such information at all. Being able to meet a human commander is already a must for our intelligence system. At the limit, it is impossible for us to detect the true identities of those human beings. So we only know so much now, and there is no way to find out more information. Xiao Fan sighed deeply, and said, since the situation is so critical, the headquarters should go all out and dispatch all forces to find the original civilization energy of this planet. Why are they looking for followers and transforming followers? Isn't it superfluous to take off your pants and fart to find the energy of civilization on this planet? And at such a critical moment, isn't it even more time-consuming? Musu smiled bitterly and said, Your Excellency, not everyone is deeply worried about our race. Let me tell you something from the bottom of my heart, please don't be angry. If you really found this in the first place, the original civilization energy of the planet, you should know what this means. Xiao Fan said angrily, you mean that those guys in the headquarters are all scared? They are worried that after finding the original civilization energy of this planet in the first place, the army will have to leave this planet to participate in the race defense war after breeding their offspring. So they don't want this kind of result to happen. That is to say, they don't want to take a large army to participate in the racial defense war. Don't they want to die? Musu smiled bitterly and said, Your Excellency, it's good to understand some things in your heart. You don't need to say it. In fact, there is nothing wrong with this choice. Although the race defense war is very sacred to us, even if all the troops here return to even if the planet goes to participate in the racial defense war, it will not change any results, it can only be sent to death in vain. Chapter 157 Suggestions to Command. Xiao Fan couldn't help but want to get more information. Xiao Fan then asked, I don't want to make too many comments on the choice of the command. But hasn't the command thought about it? If those humans chase to this planet, where else can we escape? Musu's expression became even more gloomy and said, Actually, I am also very worried about this issue, but for now, there is nothing to worry about. Our dispatch of large troops this time is very secretive, and those giant beasts should not discover. Of course, if I'm discovered, I don't know what to do, I can only resign myself to fate. Xiao Fan couldn't help being a little disappointed after hearing this. If the interstellar iron beetle here is not found, it will still be a disaster for his own planet, but I don't have any solution now, I still need to find out more information. Xiao Fan said, I'm afraid our enemies will not let us go easily. Since they have decided to conquer us, they must kill us and completely conquer our planet. We must find a way to better preserve our own strength, the whereabouts of our army must be more concealed. Musu said, Your Excellency's words are very reasonable, but the headquarters seems to be powerless to do anything about it now. I heard the news privately that the planets we once conquered are all lost now. Compared with the strength of the enemy, the difference is so great that there is really no way. Xiao Fan said solemnly, Are we really going to resign ourselves to fate? What do we have to do? For example, we should hide our entire army first, and we can't expose it like this. Such an exposure is likely to be detected by the enemy. Arrived. Isn't the conductor so stupid that he didn't even think of this? Musu said, Of course the command has thought of this, but as far as I know, the command doesn't want the whole army to look like it's fleeing, but wants to show the attitude of a conqueror. Xiao Fan sneered, Those high-ranking gentlemen in the headquarters are still trying to save face, and they still can't let go of their arrogance. Survival is the only important thing for us now. Are they really? Don't you know that? Musu smiled wryly and didn't speak. He didn't dare to comment on the masters of the headquarters. Xiao Fan continued, Our enemies are so powerful, if they can find other planets we conquered, they will definitely find them here too. I think that if we want to preserve our power, we must change our current strategy. Otherwise our race may really completely disappear from this universe. Mushu asked, How to change our strategy? Xiao Fan pretended to be very serious and said, It's actually very simple. Let go of all our arrogance. The first thing is to stop conquering this planet, because as long as we really want to conquer this planet will be exposed to us sooner or later. The enemy will send us to the road of partition as soon as possible. Musu nodded, thinking that what Xiao Fan said was quite right. Xiao Fan went on to say, And our army must be hidden. Don't want those hypocrisy faces anymore, since everyone knows in their hearts that we are fleeing this time. Then make the gesture that fleeing should be. Don't do it again. Appeared as a conqueror. This will only ruin the lives of the army. Musu nodded after listening to it, thinking that what Xiao Fan said was very pragmatic. Xiao Fan continued, of course, we still need to continue to search for the original energy of this planet. After all, it is related to the reproduction of our race, that is, the future of our race. We will never give up easily, but we must keep it secret. We can't search with such fanfare anymore. We'd better stop appearing on the surface of this planet like this, or we will expose ourselves sooner or later. Musu agreed and said, these points you live in are very reasonable. I think we should do what you said. Why didn't you convey your opinion to the headquarters? The headquarters should be serious after hearing it. Thinking about it, maybe we will make corresponding changes to our current strategy. Xiao Fan couldn't help thinking, can I go to your headquarters? If I go to your headquarters, if my secrets are revealed, wouldn't it be a sheep in the mouth of a tiger? So I can only talk to you. It is best to use you as a bastard, as a gunman, and let you convey my words to your headquarters. This time it's also cheap for you, bastard. If you didn't have this purpose, I would really kill you right now. Since you have this purpose, then you are very lucky to have escaped this disaster. Xiao Fan said, I'm still carrying out my secret mission, and I can't return to the headquarters until my mission is completed. You can tell these old men in the headquarters, but you must not say that I said it. It is not allowed you said you met me, because it would expose my mission, which is of no benefit to you. Instead, you said it was all your own idea. Once your opinion is adopted by the gentlemen of the command, you will get a lot of rewards. Reward? Musu was surprised and said, Your Excellency, your opinion is really valuable. Could it be that you are so willing to give me the credit? Your selfless behavior makes me feel very ashamed and makes me feel ashamed. This is the only way to really consider our race wholeheartedly. Your Excellency is the true hero of our race. When Xiao Fan heard Mushu's flattering words, she felt sick for a while. Fuck you, I didn't do this for your race, I did it for my own race. I don't want you to continue to do evil on our planet and bring more harm to our planet. I just use this method to reduce your damage to our planet. If I have the strength now, I can wipe out all of you. Of course, I don't need to use this method, but go directly to the headquarters of you bastards, kill all those bastards one by one, and kill all of you. Grab it, lynch all of them one by one, so that you can get enough relief. It's a pity that I don't have such strength now, so I can only hang on for now. When I grow to a certain level, I won't have to compete with you at that time, and I will directly play with you and beat you one by one. Everything you play is smashed to pieces. Chapter 158 Black Strange Insect. After Xiao Fan made a generous statement, Mushu's eyes were already full of admiration, and those ordinary interstellar iron beetles were even more admiring. They have met a lot of nobles, but like this nobleman in front of them, he is so selfless, so single-minded, only considers race, does not care about personal gains and losses. This is the first time they have really seen it. They looked at Xiao Fan full of admiration and awe, and now if Xiao Fan gave them an order, even if the order was to let them die, they would carry it out without hesitation. Musu excitedly said, Your Excellency is so selfless, I am really very ashamed. I will definitely convey your suggestion to the headquarters, and when the time is right, I will tell the truth, absolutely not coveting your Excellency's merits. I am here to once again extend my lofty respect to your Excellency. Xiao Fan said solemnly, there is no need to be like this. We only do things for our own race. Why do we have to care about personal fame and fortune? This matter is also very urgent, so we don't need to be polite here. If we continue to delay, can only waste each other's precious time, and it will affect the time of the headquarters to make correct decisions. Take your people and return to the headquarters as soon as possible. Musu hesitated and said, but I'm currently on a mission to find followers? Isn't it inappropriate to give up this mission now? Xiao Fan hated iron and said, I said, can you think about it carefully? Why did the headquarters ask you to find followers? Isn't it just to delay? After you go back now, say such an important thing, wouldn't it be better to delay the time objectively? The masters of the headquarters will only appreciate you, how could they blame you? Musu's eyes lit up and said, Your Excellency is really very reasonable, why didn't I remember it? It seems that all the Imperial Guards are elites. I used to complain very much, why can't I become an Imperial Guard, a member of the regiment? Now that I see you, I understand why I can't become a member of the Imperial Guards, because the gap between me and you is too big. Then I will leave first, sir, take care, we regret has a deadline. Xiao Fan replied flatly, You guys also take care." There will be a period later. Musu left with his entourage. Xiao Fan resisted the urge to attack, and watched them disappear from his vision. Some people can't be killed temporarily. Keeping them can achieve better goals, even if it is for the energy of the original civilization. I must do my best to protect this planet. But Xiao Fan felt his hands itch again. After all, his mother didn't kill anyone, and there was a bad breath in his heart that he couldn't vent. Xiao Fan rolled his eyes and had an evil idea. Since these guys didn't complete their missions, wouldn't it be okay to complete the missions instead of them? Go look for it yourself and see if anyone is willing to be a traitor. If you find it, kill it with all your heart and soul. After Xiao Fan made up his mind, he immediately flew to the distance, but just after he flew out, Xiao Fan saw an incredible scene on the ground. There were many black objects surging in the ruins, like strips of black maggots are surging. As disgusting as you want. Fuck, Xiao Fan couldn't help but swear. What kind of monster is this? Xiao Fan lowered his height. At this time, he could see clearly that it was not a maggot at all. Just now because the height was too high. You looked like black maggots, but in fact, they were like black pythons. The monster, they crawled quickly among the ruins, and they looked like goosebumps all over the body. Could this be a monster created by the interstellar iron beetle? If these black monsters are allowed to wreak havoc on this planet, how many survivors will die? The key is that their location is very close to their own base. If I let them go, these damned monsters will find their underground base sooner or later, and by then it may be a disaster. Xiao Fan looked at the exact number. There are more than 60 of them, each one is 100 meters long, and the diameter of the body is as thick as 1 meter, and it is impossible to tell which end is the head and which end is the tail, because these strange insects have big mouths at both ends, but they have no eyes. Even when they are crawling, they are devouring all the ruins around them. Bigger, in the blink of an eye, they can be seen with the naked eye, and their bodies have grown a lot bigger again. Fuck, Xiao Fan swears again about this discovery of his own. This fucking is really terrifying. If it continues like this, what is their opponent on this planet? I have to take action. I can't just ignore them, even if it's for myself. I have to take action. Xiao Fan took out a bone spear from his supernatural power space, and then ruthlessly threw it at one of the strange insects. The strange insect had a very sharp sense, and even raised one end of its head and opened its mouth to throw Xiao Fan away. The bone spear that came out was swallowed, and then it was also swallowed. Xiao Fan looked completely dumbfounded. This was the first time he encountered an attack failure, and the failure was so complete that he even wondered whether he was attacking these strange insects, or sending them food. Xiao Fan felt his heart sinking suddenly. He knew that he was really in danger this time. His intuition was still very accurate. After all, he had been fighting in the end times for 50 years. Although he could not predict the danger, he was very sensitive to it. Intuition is still accurate. Almost at the same moment, all the strange insects stopped crawling, then raised their heads to look in Xiao Fan's direction at the same time, and then opened their mouths at the same time, spraying out black liquid. Like a sharp arrow, it shot at Xiao Fan at an incredible speed. Xiao Fan's keen danger instinct told himself that if he was really hit by these black liquids, he might really die here. This is not a joke, but a very possible result, and he must act immediately. Dodge. Chapter 159, Supernatural power reappears in the supernatural space. And that's not all. These black strange insects all shot up into the sky. They didn't have wings, but they flew up, and the flying speed was very fast, at least faster than Xiao Fan's speed. Xiao Fan had a feeling of wanting to cry but not tears. He only wanted to find a few traitors to kill, but how the hell did he meet such monsters? What evil did he do? Suddenly a bold idea came to Xiao Fan's mind. Now he looks like an interstellar iron beetle. These strange insects attack him without any mercy. What does this mean? This shows that these strange insects and the interstellar iron beetles are not the same group. Are these strange insects the enemies of the interstellar iron beetles? It doesn't seem to look like much. The enemies of the interstellar iron beetle are giant beasts, but these strange insects are obviously not giant beasts. But no matter what, this is a good opportunity for me. If I lead these strange insects to fly like a large army of interstellar iron beetles, and let them have an encounter battle between the two sides, isn't it a good thing? Very fun thing. Maybe it will kill two birds with one stone. It can not only eliminate these strange insects, but also cause some heavy damage to the interstellar iron beetle. This is definitely a good thing that has the best of both worlds. Xiao Fan made up his mind in an instant that he wanted to do this. If he could really succeed, he would definitely hold a big celebration party for himself after returning home. Xiao Fan flew higher and higher, faster and faster, and mobilized all his potential. He really didn't have the slightest scruples anymore. It would be best if his movement could attract the attention of the interstellar iron beetle in the sky. Those black monsters are also getting faster and faster, and they have an advantage compared with Xiao Fan's speed. Although both sides are accelerating, it is very obvious that the acceleration of these monsters is much faster than Xiao Fan's acceleration. Xiao Fan saw it in his eyes and was anxious. These strange insects are getting closer and closer to him. This is not a good thing. Too bad. Xiao Fan stimulated the last bit of potential in his body, and wanted to increase his speed desperately, but unfortunately, his wish was very beautiful, but the reality was very cruel, and he was a little unable to do what he wanted. He could only watch those strange insects get closer and closer to him, and more black liquid was shut out. It is possible to finish the game, and I must find a way to solve the current predicament, but what kind of solution can he think of? I don't have any helpers on my side. Did those damn interstellar iron beetles notice what happened here? Can't you come to a few blind interstellar iron beetles to save yourself? Now I need help. It is obviously not a wise choice to turn around and fight these black monsters desperately. Let alone the huge disparity in strength between the two sides. Even if you try your best, you may not be the opponent of these black monsters. What should I do? Suddenly Xiao Fan's eyes lit up. Xiao Fan couldn't help but scolded himself secretly. What a fool. Why did he only think about running away, and forgot what his biggest support was? But he has the ability space. He can try to get rid of these The black liquid can be stored separately in his own supernatural space. If it is really successful, maybe these black liquids will become a powerful weapon for him. So he must give it a try. Xiao Fan is a very decisive person, but he thought of a way. Whether it is useful or not, he should try it first. With a thought, he took a black liquid arrow into his supernatural space and stored it separately, and was very pleasantly surprised to find that this method actually worked, and it didn't have any impact on his ability space. Xiao Fan was pleasantly surprised, and immediately had an idea, and put all the black liquid into his supernatural space and stored it separately. Now it was the turn of those black monsters to be confused. How could this be possible? They stopped at the same time, then turned their heads and flew underground, and escaped like this. Xiao Fan also froze in place. Is this the end? This is a bit too incredible. Just when Xiao Fan was very confused, several interstellar iron beetles flew over, and they were all light golden interstellar iron beetles, and they seemed to be nobles of the interstellar iron beetles. Xiao Fan suddenly had a feeling that these interstellar iron beetles could not be the Imperial Guards, right? It's really very possible. If it's really an ordinary interstellar iron beetle nobleman, he will definitely bring his followers. Xiao Fan is worried that he just used the power space, so he won't expose his identity. Right, this group of damn bastards must have noticed what happened here long ago, but they hide aside and refuse to show their faces. I guess they are also afraid of those black monsters. In order to avoid getting into trouble, they are willing to watch themselves die. What a selfish, bloody bastard. Xiao Fan couldn't help cursing in his heart. He really got into the drama too much. Could he have forgotten his true identity? He is actually a human being, but Xiao Fan calmed down quickly after being furious. The other party showed up and must have a lot of questions to ask himself. How should he choose? Choose to continue acting with these guys? Or suddenly shot and killed all these guys? Of course, it will be very beneficial to play around with these guys. Those black monsters have escaped now, but it is definitely a very big hidden danger to my own planet. Shut. Definitely a very wonderful result. This is much more beneficial than killing these interstellar iron beetles directly. When it is not a last resort, you should not kill all these guys. It is better to create opportunities that are more beneficial to yourself. Xiao Fan quickly analyzed the pros and cons, and decided to deal with these guys for the time being. Unless it is a last resort, he must not take it lightly. The situation he is now facing is very complicated and dangerous. He must use all factors to protect his own planet. That's right. Chapter 160. Xiao Fan didn't dare to impersonate the Imperial Guards anymore, because the guys in front of him might really be the Imperial Guards. If he said that he was a member of the Imperial Guards, wouldn't he be revealing his identity? Xiao Fan would not do such a stupid thing. He immediately replied without hesitation, "Mu Su, a second-class nobleman, is being ordered to perform a special mission from the headquarters. Xiao Fan is not afraid that the other party will see some flaws when he says this, because this guy Mushu is real. At this time, the two sides had already met, and a pale golden interstellar iron beetle said proudly, "You, a little second-level nobleman, don't hurry up and salute when you see us? Who gave you the courage to dare to stand in front of us, so presumptuous? Don't you know our identities?" Xiao Fan pretended to be very surprised and asked, "Are you the heavenly guards?" The light golden interstellar iron beetle nodded and replied, "You are still relatively smart, you are not completely blind, there is nothing wrong, indeed we are all from the Imperial Guard. You are very lucky to have met us, if not our witch black monsters will not let you go so easily." The grass mud horse. Xiao Fan couldn't help cursing in his heart, he really didn't want any face at all. Xiao Fan always thought that his face was thicker, but what the hell is his face today? Compared with these guards in front of him, he is simply thin-skinned. Why did those black monsters leave? Is it because I am afraid of you? What a joke. Obviously it was because of Lao Tzu that they scared them away. Of course, although Xiao Fan is very upset in his heart, he will never argue with them about this matter, because it is completely unnecessary. Xiao Fan said with a smile, "Thank you for your life-saving grace. I am grateful. These adults are really extraordinary. I was chased by them just now. If it wasn't for the appearance of these adults, I would really have dead. The adults can see what that black strange insect is, how can it be so terrifying?" The light golden interstellar iron beetle said, "What are those things? What does it matter to you? It's not a secret that you should be exposed to at this level. Remember that some things you don't know are good for you, but it is good for you if you know. It's a big disaster, so if you want to live a long time, don't ask what you shouldn't ask." Xiao Fan couldn't help being furious. "You bastards sure don't know, but you still refuse to admit it. You fucking use this excuse to fool me, bah." Xiao Fan was very upset in his heart, but he didn't show it. He just kept smiling and flattering the other party. At that time, another guy from the Heavenly Guard Corps said, "There were obviously a lot of black liquid chasing you and attacking you just now, but why did they all disappear suddenly? What happened?" Xiao Fan knew in his heart that this question was the real reason why these guys showed up to see him. They didn't know what happened just now, so they had to ask clearly. As far as his mother's virtue is concerned, he is ashamed to say that he scared away those strange insects. What a shame. Xiao Fan despised these guys in his heart. Naturally, Xiao Fan will not tell the real reason. He cannot tell these guys in front of him that I have a supernatural space, and I stored those black liquids in my supernatural space separately, so they suddenly disappeared. Xiao Fan would never say that. This is his biggest trump card, and he must not reveal it easily. Xiao Fan pretended to be very puzzled and asked, "Could it be that some adults made the move? I don't know why, I thought it was some adults who did it, but it turned out that some adults didn't do it. Then what happened just now? What happened? Is there someone else helping me in the dark? I don't know who did it. This must be my savior. I will find this savior in the future. I must thank you. I am so grateful to him." Xiao Fan really admired his acting skills for a moment. If he had the opportunity to make a movie, Xiao Fan believed that he would have a chance to win the best actor. The expression on his face looked so sincere, the look in his eyes, it was so realistic that Xiao Fan completely believed what he said. The fellows from the Imperial Guards on the opposite side looked at me and you, and they couldn't help but fell into deep thought. In fact, deep down in their hearts, they didn't believe that it was Xiao Fan who did it, because they are all members of the high-ranking Imperial Guards. What they can't do, how can Xiao Fan, as an ordinary nobleman, be able to do it? A member of the Heavenly Guard Corps said impatiently, "Since you don't know what happened, hurry up and leave here to avoid danger again, and carry out your own mission." "We are leaving here too. Remember, it's best not to say you met us." Xiao Fan knows that the other party doesn't want what happened just now to be leaked. After all, if this incident is really leaked on a large scale, it will definitely make them feel very shameless. These guys dare not show up when they are in danger. "I'm sorry for the name of the Imperial Guards." Seeing that the guys on the opposite side were about to leave, Xiao Fan hurriedly called to them and said, "My lords, don't you just leave like this? Don't you think it's a pity to just leave like this?" A guy from the Imperial Guard said angrily, "If we don't go this way, what else do you want us to do? Are you going to carry out your mission with you? We don't know what your mission is, but we don't deserve it. Help you." Xiao Fan hastily explained, "My lords, that's not what I mean. What I mean is, we finally encountered such a huge opportunity to make meritorious deeds. How could we let it go easily? The members of the Imperial Guard Heavenly Regiment all looked puzzled. They didn't understand what Xiao Fan meant. Xiao Fan deliberately said with a flattering look, "My lords, think about it carefully. Those monsters have nothing to do with us now. No matter whether someone is secretly helping us or not, we can take advantage of this favorable condition. Go kill or capture those strange insects alive. If we can capture them alive and use them, wouldn't it be a great credit to us? We can even use these strange insects to fight those giant beasts." When the members of the Heavenly Guardians heard Xiao Fan's words, their eyes lit up. It would be a great achievement if these monsters could be used to deal with those giant beasts. Chapter 161, The Truth About the Strange Insect. Xiao Fan continued to flicker. Maybe these monsters are an opportunity for our entire race. Our entire race is now facing a very serious crisis. Those giant beasts are invincible enemies for us. Why can't we find a powerful one, help us deal with those giant beasts? I think these strange insects are. And I just discovered a big secret of these strange insects. Xiao Fan deliberately paused and left a tail when he said this. A member of the Imperial Guards hurriedly asked, "What kind of secret have you discovered? Tell me quickly." The other guys are also urging Xiao Fan with their eyes. Xiao Fan knows that he has aroused enough curiosity of these guys, and his goal is basically half achieved. Xiao Fan said very seriously, "I just met a few adults, otherwise I would never tell this secret, because I plan to report this secret to the headquarters. As long as I tell the secret to the headquarters, I must have done a great job. But now that I have met a few adults, I feel that I need to change my previous thinking, and treat it as if I were making friends with a few adults." A member of the Imperial Guard said with a smile, "Don't worry, we can all see that you want to please us. If the secret you said is really valuable, we will make a deal with you as a friend. Maybe one day in the future, I can help you join our Imperial Guards. If you join us, your family will also feel honored, and we will never deceive you on this point." Xiao Fan took a deep breath in his heart. "Fuck you, do I still need you to honor me? See how Laozi kills all of you." Xiao Fan couldn't help cursing in her heart, but she said with a flattered expression on her face and said with a smile, "There are few adults who promise like this, then I don't have any hesitation. I will tell this secret now. This is definitely a very valuable contribution. It is that these strange insects can continue to grow, and grow very, very fast. They can devour those ruins and grow up quickly by themselves." After hearing this, the members of the Imperial Guard Heavenly Group all showed shock on their faces. Those strange insects can grow up quickly in such a way. If these strange insects are really controlled, when these strange insects grow to when they are big enough, letting them fight those giant beasts is definitely a great achievement. Several guys glanced at each other, and they all saw the light of excitement in each other's eyes. At this moment, they were all moved. Such a good achievement must not be let go, and they must be held firmly at all costs. This is called credit in your own hands, and you must not let this credit slip away from you. Xiao Fan pretended to be puzzled and asked, "I really don't know how there are such strange insects on this planet, which can grow rapidly in this way. It's very strange," a member of the Imperial Guard said with some contempt. "Then you are rare and strange. If you are a member of our Imperial Guards, you won't think it is too strange?" Xiao Fan hurriedly asked. "According to the adults who have encountered such a situation before, and know what is going on with those strange insects, can the adults tell me something, so that I can also open my eyes? That is, in the future if I brag to other people, I can brag more confidently." The member of the Imperial Guard said seriously, "Since you intend to give us the credit for this, and we let you join the Imperial Guards, then even if you brag about it, you must completely forget about it in the future. Understand?" "What do I mean?" "It means that you can't mention this matter in the future, and you can't brag about it. Do you understand?" Of course Xiao Fan understood what this guy meant. They meant to monopolize this credit, and it had nothing to do with him, and the benefit for himself was to allow him to join the Heavenly Guard Corps one day in the future. Xiao Fan couldn't help but yell in his heart, "These bastards are really black. They really want to monopolize this credit. They are a bit too greedy. Under normal circumstances you should let others eat your bones when you eat meat. Well, even if you don't let others eat a bone, let them drink a mouthful of soup. But now it's too much to not even give others a sip of soup. And the benefit given is still a promise in the future, whether it can be fulfilled is completely in between. If Xiao Fan is really a member of the interstellar iron beetles, I really can't stand it." But at this moment, Xiao Fan is very happy in his heart. It doesn't matter what benefits he can give himself, the key is that these guys in front of him have completely entered his trap and become the prey of his own toy, helping him to realize himself perfectly step by step the plan in his heart. This is what Xiao Fan really wants. Xiao Fan said flatteringly, naturally, I will listen to the arrangements of the adults. Of course I will do what the adults say. But I am still a little curious, if the adults really know how those monsters are. If there is something wrong, can some adults please explain it to me? Satisfy my little curiosity in my heart. Xiao Fan's question is not just to satisfy his own curiosity. He wants to know how these strange insects are produced. Will there be new monsters? This is also a serious threat to myself, so this matter must be thoroughly clarified by all means. Since these guys in front of me seem to know something, they must not be easily let go, the member of the Imperial Guard said. This matter has nothing to do with you. Of course, this is just our guess, and we are not completely sure, but it should roughly be the truth. There must be some people in the army who came to this planet. Soldiers participating in the battle against giant beasts. There are some parasites on those giant beasts, and some parasites are the natural enemies of those giant beasts. It is very likely that during the process of fighting our fighters, some parasite eggs touched some of us. On the warrior, the more Xiao Fan listened to it, the more frightened she became. Is this really the case? The guy continued, and the eggs of these giant parasites accidentally fell on the surface of this planet, and the surface of this planet was damaged by our acid, allowing these eggs to hatch and mutate, so these strange insects. This is probably the truth. Of course these strange insects are natural enemies with those giant beasts. If they can really meet with giant beasts, there will definitely be a life and death battle. Chapter 162, the credit is all yours. As long as some bugs on his own planet didn't mutate to cause strange bugs to appear, it wouldn't be a particularly bad result. Another member of the Imperial Guard said, this is thanks to your information. If you don't say that they can grow up quickly by eating the ruins, we can connect the two. Xiao Fan asked curiously, I don't understand what this lord said. The member of the Imperial Guards explained, in fact, our Imperial Guards have obtained higher level information before, that is, in the process of fighting giant beasts. The acid we use to attack giant beasts can help giants. The parasites on the beast mutated and grew rapidly, so we were able to connect the two after hearing your information. Xiao Fan asked a little puzzled, if this is really the case, then wouldn't there be a lot of monsters that spawned at that time, and then helped us fight the giant beast? Another member of the Guardian Heavenly Group sighed. It's not as simple as you think. Those monsters can indeed grow in size quickly, but when they face monsters, they haven't had time to grow up enough to be killed by those giant beasts, died. It's different now. This planet only has these monsters, without their natural enemies, those giant beasts. They will have enough opportunities to grow up, and they may truly become the natural enemies of giant beasts. Xiao Fan nodded, he completely understood what was going on. Xiao Fan smiled flatteringly and said, thank you, sir, for helping me understand a lot of things. So how do we catch those strange insects now? Do you have any special method? If you don't catch them immediately if they are caught, let them continue to grow, I am afraid that it will be difficult for us to control them by then. Several members of the Imperial Guards nodded, thinking that what Xiao Fan said was very reasonable. A member of the Imperial Guard said, you are very right, we must act immediately and formulate a complete plan as soon as possible, otherwise these monsters will not be the enemy of the giant beast, but our enemy. We may face their direct attack. Xiao Fan took the opportunity to say, I saw just now that they are actually not friendly to us. Their sudden attack on me just now is a good proof. If they continue to grow, we will probably be killed. Forced to leave this planet and become a wanderer in the universe, the member of the Imperial Guard said, if you continue to stare at these strange insects, I will go back and tell our chief about it, gather more people, and capture all these strange insects alive as much as possible. They are all alive. Even if they cannot be domesticated, it will be a great help to us. Xiao Fan thought for a while and said, then I will do what the adults said, and please hurry back as soon as possible. I am worried that the time will be delayed for a long time. It will not help to wait for the adults to come back, because if these monsters grow big enough, we won't be able to capture them alive. Another member of the Imperial Guard said, you are here patiently waiting for our news, but when our chief comes here with a large force, do you know how to speak? I hope you will be enough by then. You're so smart, don't say something that disappoints us. Xiao Fan immediately said, I will definitely not let the adults feel disappointed. I know what to say. I will say that I follow the orders of the adults to secretly follow these strange insects. It was discovered by several adults. And the absolute credit belongs to several adults. As long as several adults can let me join the Imperial Guard smoothly at that time, it will be fine. Xiao Fan understands that the reason why the guy in front of him confessed in this way is that he is worried that he will be very ignorant to take their credit. Xiao Fan's answer will naturally satisfy them. As long as he can achieve his goal, Xiao Fan will definitely let them. This guy feels at ease. What credit is not as good as credit? Xiao Fan doesn't care about this. Several members of the Imperial Guard flew away very satisfied. Xiao Fan began to look for the traces of those strange insects. He had to supervise these strange insects secretly. Only when the large forces of the beetles come into direct conflict can they truly achieve their goals. Xiao Fan soon discovered the traces of these strange insects. They were still devouring and growing up, and then kept moving forward. Xiao Fan suddenly discovered that this was also a good thing. His own planet was destroyed by interstellar iron beetles, and there were corrosive ruins everywhere. Now these ruins have been eaten by these strange insects. We'll be back to life soon. Xiao Fan looked at the scene in front of him, his eyes sparkled with unconcealable excitement. If it wasn't for this monster that might be so big that it would destroy the entire planet in the future, he really hoped that these monsters would keep devouring them. Of course, Xiao Fan understands the truth that enough is enough. Everything has two sides. It is of course a good thing that these strange insects can continue to devour these ruins, but it will definitely be a disaster for their own planet if they grow to a large enough size. Those monsters also seemed to see Xiao Fan in the sky. They all stopped at the same moment, looked up at Xiao Fan, even though all these monsters had no eyes, only one mouth, but Xiao Fan still felt that all of them were staring at myself. Xiao Fan felt like his whole body was hairy. If he didn't have the supernatural space to rely on, Xiao Fan really didn't have such confidence to look at them. What made Xiao Fan feel a little relieved was that these monsters just stared at him and did not attack him again. Maybe Xiao Fan used the supernatural space to frighten them a lot before, so they looked at Xiao Fan at this time. There is also a psychological shadow, so I dare not make a move easily in this way. The two sides formed a strange confrontation situation. Xiao Fan stared at those strange insects in the sky, and those strange insects stared at Xiao Fan on the ground, and they didn't intend to attack each other. However, when those strange insects saw Xiao Fan didn't attack themselves anymore, they seemed to have lost interest in confrontation, so they continued to devour the ruins, and then began to grow up non-stop. Xiao Fan's scalp felt numb when he saw it. These guys are now a full 110 meters long, and the diameter of their bodies is more than 1 meter. This growth rate is really terrifying. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 163, The Spaceship Arrives. Watching these strange insects keep growing, and growing at a speed visible to the naked eye, no matter who sees this scene, I am afraid that they will be anxious. Xiao Fan couldn't help but wonder if he should do something. Should he continue to provoke these monsters? Xiao Fan finally gave up on this idea. Let these strange insects continue to grow up, so that these strange insects and the large army of interstellar iron beetles can cause greater casualties to both sides. But after waiting for another half an hour, the large army of interstellar iron beetles hadn't arrived yet, and the strange insects in front of them had grown to 120 meters. Hundreds of square kilometers. Xiao Fan felt that he couldn't continue to watch them devour them and let them continue to grow. Could it be that when the large army of interstellar iron beetles came to this place, they would give up the idea of catching them alive when they saw how big these strange insects were? Leave. Xiao Fan felt that there was such a possibility, so he changed his mind again, and he had to make trouble for these monsters. So Xiao Fan took out a bone spear from his supernatural space and started to attack these strange insects, and then these strange insects stopped devouring and counterattacked Xiao Fan, shooting black liquid from their mouths, and Xiao Fan through these black liquids are collected into their own supernatural space. Then these monsters felt that they had no way to ignore Xiao Fan with Xiao Fan, and continued to devour the ruins. Xiao Fan started to make trouble again amount of black liquid at this time. Xiao Fan looked at the distant sky, and these strange insects also looked in that direction, and densely packed interstellar iron beetles were flying in that direction. What made Xiao Fan even more shocked was that he saw the spaceship of the interstellar iron beetle for the first time, a huge and very fast spaceship. This spaceship is really like a big mountain flying towards him at high speed, giving Xiao Fan a strong sense of oppression. In the last apocalypse, Xiao Fan has never seen such a big guy. Xiao Fan couldn't help sighing. It seems that he has really changed a lot when he was reborn this time. Those monsters also obviously saw the spaceship. Judging from the reaction of their bodies shrinking constantly, it seems that they also felt fear and were hesitating whether to run away quickly. At this time, a blue light shot out from the spaceship and enveloped Xiao Fan. This Xiao Fan felt his eyes were blurred, and his body seemed to have a blurred feeling. When everything in front of him became clear again, he also felt that his body had returned to normal, and he found that he was already in a space. Xiao Fan saw blue light all around him, and gradually the blue light became dim. Xiao Fan saw several purple gold interstellar iron beetles standing in front of him, and they all stared at him. Xiao Fan felt that these guys must be the high-level members of the interstellar iron beetle, and their status was very special, because Xiao Fan could feel the aura of the high-ranking people from them. Xiao Fan immediately showed a very panicked expression, and hurriedly lowered his head. In order to show a more realistic expression, his body couldn't help shaking a few times. These purple gold interstellar iron beetles are very satisfied with Xiao Fan's performance. They are all high-ranking guys, and they like to be feared and revered by others. A purple gold interstellar iron beetle asked, "Are those strange insects all the numbers you see now?" Xiao Fan was about to answer yes, but immediately remembered the explanations of the members of the Imperial Guards, and said, "Reporting to your honorable lord, it is true that I saw all the numbers of these interstellar iron beetles, but they were not discovered by me. Yes, I was just ordered to watch them, and it was discovered by the other masters of the Imperial Guards." The purple gold interstellar iron beetle nodded with satisfaction and said, "You performed very well, which made me feel very satisfied. You can remember your own duty at all times, and don't covet credit that doesn't belong to you. This shows that you meet the request to join our Imperial Guards. You are now a member of our Imperial Guards, and you belong to the 9th Regiment of the Imperial Guards." Xiao Fan hurriedly expressed his thanks, and couldn't help but think in his heart that it seems that there are still conflicts between the Imperial Guards and ordinary interstellar iron beetles. If the relationship between the two parties is really harmonious, these guys in front of them will not treat themselves like this. To be precise, it should be that there should be discord between the Imperial Guards and the headquarters. These high-level officials of the Imperial Guard should have seen that this is actually their own credit, but they are very satisfied with being able to give up the credit, thinking that they can be loyal to the Imperial Guards, so they let themselves be very happy. Joined the Imperial Guards, so it seems that the Imperial Guards and the command should often compete with each other. Xiao Fan couldn't help but wonder if he could take advantage of this contradiction between the two parties to further expand the goal he wanted to achieve, and further damage the interstellar iron beetle, because whether it is the Imperial Guard or ordinary, the interstellar iron beetle is his absolute enemy. At this time, several high-level members of the Imperial Guards began to discuss how to capture those monsters alive. Maybe they thought Xiao Fan was very reliable, so the discussion between them did not avoid Xiao Fan. These strange insects are indeed a very big opportunity for us. If we can really master these strange insects, we can raise them, and when they grow to a large enough size, they can be transported to the battlefield. Let them have a direct battle with the giant beast. They are natural enemies. It is definitely a very exciting battle. Maybe we can raise more monsters. Let these monsters also become our slave fighters. Let these monsters fight for us, just like those humans let giant beasts fight for them. And what we have to do now, the first step, is to capture all these strange insects alive and not harm them. Our spaceship has come here, and it is not particularly difficult to capture all these strange insects alive. But the only thing to consider now is that we are not sure whether our spaceship can have enough strength to control these strange insects. Will these strange insects damage our spaceship? We have a total of 2 spaceships, but we can't easily make an attempt. If these strange insects damage our spaceship, it will be a huge disaster for us, and we will never have any chance of reversing it. It's possible, because we don't have the ability to build spaceships. Now we have a complete fallout with those humans, and they won't reward us with spaceships anymore. Chapter 164. Are you willing to die? Why did you fall out again? Suddenly, Xiao Fan thought of the information he had obtained from Val before, that the interstellar iron beetle actually has an owner. Could it be that the owners of the interstellar iron beetle are those humans, because the interstellar iron beetles betrayed their masters? Did those humans send giant beasts to attack them? But listening to what Mushu said, it seems that this is not the case. Could it be because Mushu has limited information? At this time, a purple gold interstellar iron beetle said with regret, "We should not have made such a choice in the first place, and we should not have met Prince Mingjin's envoy, otherwise Princess Yujin would not have killed us. We won't be in the mess we are in today." Another purple gold interstellar iron beetle said, "What's the point of saying this now? We have made a choice long ago, so don't regret it anymore. In fact, if we ran over to repent, I'm afraid Princess Yujin will not forgive us, and will not re-accept our interstellar iron beetle family." The first purple gold interstellar iron beetle said, "But why hasn't Prince Mingjin helped us until now? If he continues to stand by, our entire race will really be wiped out. If we are really wiped out, yes, what good is he? Who'll dare to follow him in the future?" Another purple gold interstellar iron beetle said, "You are still too naive. Even if our entire race is really wiped out, do you think it will have any impact on the prince? We were originally a pawn in his hand. Throwing it away afterwards is a very normal thing. Do you think they will really take us seriously? We have never been seen by them at all, so it will not have any impact on their reputation." Hearing these words, these purple gold interstellar iron beetles fell into silence, with very sad expressions in their eyes. Xiao Fan was indeed even more shocked. He now understands more clearly that the reason why the interstellar iron beetle was attacked by a giant beast and almost exterminated was because it was on the wrong team. The competition between the prince and the princess caused it. At present, the interstellar iron beetle is almost extinct, but Xiao Fan felt very curious again. What kind of benefits did the prince give the interstellar iron beetle, and made the interstellar iron beetle decide to betray the princess? Of course, despite being very curious in his heart, Xiao Fan had to resist not being able to ask. On such an occasion, he was indeed not qualified to speak. Enough for him to listen on the sidelines was already a great trust in him. After a moment of silence, a purple gold interstellar iron beetle said, "We must change the current situation and reprove our value. Let Prince Mingjin realize the great value we have and will not give up on us. Maybe he can change us. The entire race is in a dangerous situation, and Prince Mingjin may lend a helping hand to us, and the fate of our entire race will also change accordingly." Another purple gold interstellar iron beetle nodded and said, "This is indeed the only way we can go now, and now the opportunity is right in front of us. If those strange insects can really play a huge role in resisting those giant beasts' the attack on us, I believe Prince Mingjin will definitely notice this." Another purple gold interstellar iron beetle said, "In this case, it is very necessary for us to take a risk and see if we can catch all those strange insects alive. It can be said that these strange insects have pinned all our hopes. We can only succeed. We must not fail. Once we fail, the fate of our entire race will be doomed to perish. Even if we can keep running away, where can we escape? Princess Yujin will never allow betrayal for those who survived. She has always been ruthless and will never let us go." The other golden interstellar iron beetles nodded in agreement at this time. A purple gold interstellar iron beetle looked at Xiao Fan and said, "Boy, you heard everything we said just now. What do you think?" It was only then that Xiao Fan realized that these guys had deliberately let me hear their conversations. Needless to say, there must be a special purpose, perhaps to use her to do something particularly dangerous? Xiao Fan hurriedly replied, "I really didn't expect that our race has reached such a dangerous moment. For the future of our race, no matter what the adults ask me to do, I will do it willingly. There will never be any hesitation. Do the adults want to entrust me with any tasks? Just tell me directly." Several purple gold interstellar iron beetles nodded in satisfaction. Xiao Fan's clean performance made them all very satisfied indeed. A purple gold interstellar iron beetle said, "Since you are already mentally prepared to sacrifice yourself for our race, then we will not talk to you about the truth. Now there is a task for you to do. You must do it. Make sure it's done." Xiao Fan said very righteously, "No matter what tasks the adults entrust to me, no matter how dangerous the task is, for our race, for our future, I will definitely go all out to complete this task. Absolutely not any timidity and hesitation." The purple gold interstellar iron beetle said with more satisfaction, "We now have only 2 spaceships in the entire race. These 2 spaceships are related to the future of our race, so we must ensure that there is no danger. But we must capture all those strange insects alive, so a group of warriors are needed to face those strange insects, and you are one of the selected ones. When you fight those strange insects, we will catch those strange insects at the right time live. In this process, you may sacrifice. Are you really not afraid? Xiao Fan couldn't help but curse in his heart when he heard that. What a bunch of bastards. Just now he made such a big contribution, but he only gave a reward for nothing, and then he was about to send himself to death. That's too much, a little despicable, a little too shameless. How can you have the nerve to say such a thing? Do you want a little face? Even if you want some face, you can't be ashamed to say such a thing. It is not unreasonable for the entire race of interstellar iron beetles to perish. They really have no vision at all. Princess Yujin, you are really too wise. I hope you will be more wise and kill all these guys. Don't let anyone survive. These damn guys are really annoying. Chapter 165 Death Squad Captain. Several purple gold interstellar iron beetles were very satisfied, and one of the purple gold interstellar iron beetles said, "We will let you join the other Death Squad members now. Since you know more about these strange insects, you will be responsible, captain of the Death Squad. I hope you can live up to our expectations of you. If you can survive this time safely, we will reward you heavily, raise your noble rank by another level, and appoint you as the deputy head of the 9th Regiment." Xiao Fan sneered in his heart. Damn it, now that I'm going to die, you know how to write a bad check, so can't you give me something substantial to save my life? But to Xiao Fan's great disappointment, the guy in front of him didn't give Xiao Fan anything that could save his life. Of course, no matter how beautiful Xiao Fan says he is, in fact, he will not work for the interstellar iron beetle at all. He wished that all these bastards would die. Wait for yourself to make trouble. Don't you have 2 spaceships? As long as I can, I will show mercy and try to make sure that none of your spaceships are left. A blue halo suddenly lit up around Xiao Fan, and this blue halo enveloped Xiao Fan's entire body, and Xiao Fan disappeared instantly in place. Seeing that Xiao Fan had disappeared, one of the purple gold interstellar iron beetles said, "This second-level nobleman is full of courage. I am really reluctant to let him die like this. If he can stay in our Imperial Guard's Xianchuan, maybe it can become a future star of our Imperial Guard Xianchuan." Another purple gold interstellar iron beetle sneered, "He must be the captain of the Death Squad, only he has dealt with those strange insects, so we must let him take this responsibility. What's more, in order to make him make up his mind to go die, we have told so many secrets in front of him. If he survives, let those guys in the headquarters know why our race was attacked by giant beasts. I am afraid they will turn against us." The first purple gold interstellar iron beetle asked, "Do you mean that the second-level noble just now can't survive even if he can complete the task? If we do this, isn't it a bit too much? It looks like he is a very reliable nobleman who is very loyal to us." The purple gold interstellar iron beetle said, "It is true that he is very loyal to us now, but can he be guaranteed to be very loyal in the future, especially after he knows the contradiction between our Imperial Guards and the command? Are we loyal? What's more, if he is really allowed to survive, he may soon know that it is because of our private transaction with Prince Mingjin that our race is on the road to destruction. You said he will still treat us loyal." The first purple gold interstellar iron beetle fell silent. In fact, this also showed an attitude. He also agreed that even if Xiao Fan could survive after completing the mission, they would take action to kill Xiao Fan. Of course, Xiao Fan doesn't know anything about what happened here. If he knew, he would definitely not be able to help but yell. When Xiao Fan's eyes returned to normal again, he saw that he had entered a space again. This space was only 1,000 square meters, but it was packed with more than a dozen huge interstellar iron beetles. These guys are all members of the Death Squad. That is to say, they are all Xiao Fan's current subordinates. As soon as Xiao Fan appeared in front of them, the expressions on these guys' faces were full of disdain. Because they were not only nobles but also members of the Heavenly Guards, and Xiao Fan was not a member of the Heavenly Guards. Seeing the expressions on their faces, Xiao Fan knew what they were thinking. Xiao Fan couldn't help but sneered in his heart, "You bloody bastards are still not convinced by me, then I will be more cruel when I cheat you. There will never be any politeness." Xiao Fan sneered and said, "Everyone should know my identity, right? I am your captain. The mission we are carrying out this time is very dangerous. I hope that we can carry out this mission with sincerity and solidarity for the future of our race. We must work together to tide over the current difficulties." Before Xiao Fan's impassioned statement was halfway through, he was interrupted by a sneer, and a member of the Imperial Guard said, "Do you really think you have such a big face? You really think of yourself as the captain? If you are more sensible, obediently give up your command, otherwise I don't mind letting you know who is the real boss." The other members of the Imperial Guard sneered. They looked down on Xiao Fan et al., and thought that Xiao Fan was not qualified to be their captain. Even if they wanted to use Xiao Fan to die, they still thought Xiao Fan was not worthy of being the captain. Their captain. This is a great insult to them, and they cannot accept it anyway. Xiao Fan felt funny in his heart. Xiao Fan thought that all of you guys are not convinced by Lao Tzu. That would be good. It would be more conducive to the implementation of Lao Tzu's plan. Then Lao Tzu will have to cooperate with you guys. Let's intensify our efforts. The conflict between the two parties. It's better to get out of hand. Xiao Fan sarcastically said, listen to me, you bastards, put away all your so-called pride. Maybe you used to think that your status is much higher than mine, but now you better hide this thought from me. Get up. Because now I am not only your captain, but also a member of the 9th Regiment of the Imperial Guards. If this task can be successfully completed, I will be the deputy head of the 9th Regiment. Do you understand? Xiao Fan was deliberately provoking them. They absolutely could not accept being the deputy head of the 9th Regiment. Sure enough, when the dozen or so members of the Heavenly Guards Corps heard Xiao Fan's words, they were all thrown into a tizzy. I have worked so damn hard in the Imperial Guard Regiment for so many years, and I didn't even get a single official position, but the guy on the other side just became the captain. It seemed to them that it was something they couldn't imagine, and it was absolutely unacceptable to them. It's hard to tell whether it's jealousy or anger, but their hearts were immediately ignited with anger, and the anger is still burning. Chapter 166 let you know how powerful I are. If I can irritate all these guys, and then the two sides have a serious conflict, and during the conflict, if I can find a suitable opportunity to pour out the black liquid of the monster, that would be the best thing. Of course, before Xiao Fan leads his death squads out of the spaceship, he can also get those black liquids into the spaceship, but by doing so, he may be directly exposed. If he could not reveal his identity and act more concealed, Xiao Fan would still continue to hide his identity, because the interstellar iron beetle still has a spaceship. Xiao Fan believes that his every move must be monitored, and the opportunity he is looking for is that the conflict between himself and the other party can completely damage the monitoring system. Perfect. Xiao Fan decided to add fuel to the fire and said, I know that you are all very dissatisfied with me, but now you have to bear with me no matter how dissatisfied you are. After I become the deputy head of the 9th Regiment, I am even more a nobleman that you can't afford. I'm afraid you won't even have the right to be unconvinced by then. After hearing this, more than a dozen members of the Imperial Guards became even more angry. This is simply shitting on themselves. It's really unbearable. Xiao Fan sneered and said, now I will assign tasks. After we leave the spaceship, I ask you all to obey my orders. If I want you to attack, you will attack. If I want you to lure the enemy, you will lure the enemy. If you dare to disobey my order, I will let you die without a place to bury you. Don't forget that I will soon be the deputy head of the 9th Regiment, and even if you can survive by then, I think it will be easy to punish you. The dozen or so guys inside all understood that the so-called captain in front of him was really a good idea. He planned to sacrifice himself for his own future and make himself absolutely obey orders. The members of the Weixin Regiment obeyed obediently and died, so that Xiao Fan could survive and get promoted and make a fortune. This fucking is absolutely impossible. What a dream. Is Lao Tzu a fool? Who the hell are you? Let me sacrifice for you like this. A member of the Imperial Guards immediately said, since you are the captain of the death squad, you should understand what the responsibility of the death squad leader is. The death squad leader has to lead the way, but I didn't expect you to be a coward, and you want to hide behind let us work our lives to ensure that you get promoted and get rich? What are you dreaming of? I advise you to recognize the situation in front of you and take a closer look at whether the brothers around me agree to your orders or not. The other members of the Imperial Guards yelled in unison, we will never agree. Xiao Fan felt very funny in his heart, and the conflict further intensified. It is best for you bastards to do it quickly. It is best to smash this place to pieces. It is best to smash all the monitoring systems here, so that only then can I implement my plan better. Xiao Fan sneered and said, as members of the Heavenly Guards Corps and one of my subordinates, I really feel ashamed for you. You don't even know how to obey the orders of your own officers. What is the difference between your behavior and betrayal? Now I order you all to be executed. No one can say anything. A member of the Imperial Guards sarcastically said. You are really courageous and have such a big face that you want to execute us all. Who gave you the courage? I can tell you clearly that I am. If you don't follow your orders, I just don't follow what you say. What can you do to me?" In order to further intensify the conflict, Xiao Fan suddenly rushed towards the member of the Imperial Guards, ruthlessly knocked his huge body into the air, and then smashed heavily on the side of the ship wall, sending out a yell. There was an earth-shattering collision sound, and the member of the Imperial Guards was hit for a long time and couldn't get up. The other members of the Imperial Guard Heavenly Group saw that they were all quitting, but they actually dared to attack themselves. It was unbearable, so they all rushed towards Xiao Fan, and a scuffle immediately broke out between the two sides. And it was impossible to fight in a small space. In fact, Xiao Fan's guess was very correct. Their every move was indeed being monitored, and immediately a purple-gold interstellar iron beetle saw the conflict between Xiao Fan and the other party through the surveillance screen. The interstellar iron beetle immediately flew into a rage, and was really annoyed at Xiao Fan. This damned bastard behaved so obediently in front of him, but as soon as he left his face, he immediately changed into another face. He didn't want to rush to carry out the task, but had such a serious conflict with his teammates. The most hateful thing was that the bastard Xiao Fan made the first move. Just when he was about to stop it, he found that the surveillance screen in front of him had lost the picture, and the sound was also lost. This is all because Xiao Fan and the opponent's dozen or so guys act impulsively. They really don't have any mercy, but they can shoot as hard as they can. His shots are so hot that the opponent will naturally not have any kindness, so the opponent also shot very fiercely, and the damage caused by the conflict between the two sides was naturally extremely serious. As a result, the monitoring screen and sound were all damaged. Of course, this is also an effect Xiao Fan wanted. Only in this situation, Xiao Fan can carry out more unscrupulous destruction. You don't only have 2 spaceships in total. I'm going to let you go to 1 spaceship right now. You deserve to be unlucky if you meet me, and you want me to work for you. It's really a dream to marry a wife. It's just a beautiful thing. Xiao Fan faced more than a dozen members of the Imperial Guards by himself. If he only relied on his physical strength, he would not be an opponent. Several members of the Imperial Guards felt that their side was lost, and they all turned into a dark mass. They knew that something was wrong, and their keen sense of crisis told them that they had been plotted against this time, and it was very dangerous. They just wanted to shout loudly, but immediately felt some extremely corrosive liquid enter their 7 orifices, making them unable to make any sound at all, and instantly lost all sense of body. They knew they were finished. Chapter 167. The more you kill, the more you kill. As a result, the spaceship did not have time to save itself. Many interstellar iron beetles escaped from the spaceship in a hurry. They had to make this choice. Maybe this choice meant their future was uncertain to them, but they always had save your life first. If you die now, wouldn't everything become a joke? At this time, an interstellar iron beetle had swooped down to the black monster insect on the ground, and it kept attacking the strange insect. The strange insect was finally enraged and began to chase the interstellar iron beetle. This interstellar iron beetle is of course Xiao Fan, and Xiao Fan guides the black strange insects to fly to the interstellar iron beetles that escaped from the spaceship. Although many interstellar iron beetles felt that something was wrong, they couldn't allow them to think too much at the moment, because those black strange insects sprayed out black liquid at the same time, attacking all the interstellar iron beetles indiscriminately. At this time, these proud Imperial Guards could only resist one after another and began to fight back. Their main weapon is also their own corrosive liquid. But it is obvious that the corrosive liquid sprayed out by the interstellar iron beetle is obviously 1 level worse in power than the black liquid sprayed out by the black monster, and it is not a black monster at all. Worm opponent, this may be that the green comes out of the blue and is better than the blue. Xiao Fan hid in the distance and watched quietly, watching the interstellar iron beetles die one by one. Xiao Fan felt very happy, but these interstellar iron beetles are all guards after all, the elite of the elite, and they have also killed some black monsters. Moreover, the means of these interstellar iron beetles are not limited to the corrosive liquid in their mouths, but also some energy bombs, throwing bright silver light clusters one by one, and exploding near or on the black monster insects. It caused a lot of damage, but this kind of damage also greatly angered the black monster. The black monster's counterattack also became more violent, and even opened its 2 big mouths, forming a great suction force. This kind of suction force is really terrifying, swallowing some interstellar iron beetles. It's gone in the stomach. Lin Kiffin was stunned. It was a bit scary. Such big interstellar iron beetles were sucked into his stomach one after another, and these black strange insects were not afraid of bursting himself. However, some interstellar iron beetles really have species. After being sucked into the stomach by the strange insect, They even detonated their own energy bombs, and died together with a strange insect. Xiao Fan couldn't help clapping and applauding. This is the way to fight. The more intense the fight, the better. It's best for both sides to die, so that he can be safe. Xiao Fan also saw those purple gold interstellar iron beetles who were watching from the sidelines at the beginning, and then ran away. Go up and kill, avenge your subordinates, but there are still a few black monsters chasing after them. Those purple gold interstellar iron beetles kept dropping energy bombs, and soon the black monsters chasing you. The monsters were all blown up. It can also be seen from this that, compared with the interstellar iron beetle, these black strange insects are very low in intelligence, or have no intelligence at all, and are just relying on their own instincts to fight. Xiao Fan felt very sorry for this. If these black strange insects could have a certain amount of wisdom and know how to cooperate and respond to each other optimally, I am afraid that those purple gold interstellar iron beetles would not even try to escape. Xiao Fan felt extremely sorry when he thought about it, but he had no choice but to continue watching the show. The battle in front of us has come to an end, and the number of black monsters left is in single digits, but the interstellar iron beetles are not much better. Most of them have already died in battle. The last round of charge was launched, and all the interstellar iron beetles threw out the energy bombs in their hands. The black monsters swallowed the energy bombs and the interstellar iron beetles together without fear of death. The final result can be imagined. I can't describe it as tragic, but Xiao Fan watched it with gusto. My hard work was not wasted at all, and the goal was perfectly achieved. Xiao Fan felt extremely refreshed. After experiencing such a battle, the strength of the interstellar iron beetle will definitely be greatly weakened. This is not only for his own planet, it is also a great thing for me. Xiao Fan even found 3 unexploded energy bombs, which he took into the supernatural space, and then kept searching on the battlefield, but found no other useful things, so Xiao Fan planned to leave. But at this moment, Xiao Fan discovered an extremely strange scene, and couldn't believe his eyes for a moment. The pieces of those fried rotten worms turned into small black worms. Xiao Fan was dumbfounded and rubbed his eyes. A strip of small black strange insects? Could it be that these black monsters can't be killed at all? Or simply say that not only can't kill them, but they will kill more and more. If this is the case, it would be a great disaster for his own planet. Xiao Fan decided that he must do something. He must kill all these black strange insects, and he must not let them live on his own planet. Continue to live, while they are still so small. I must do it immediately, but what should I do now? How can I kill all these strange insects? Xiao Fan's head is running fast. He doesn't seem to have any weapons. He has 3 energy bombs and some bone spears. These seem to be of no use to these strange insects. Even after the energy bomb explodes, will it explode more? Even black monsters are not sure. What should I do? Xiao Fan himself didn't notice it. The cold sweat on his forehead was densely protruding. He couldn't help but be in a hurry. This is the only chance to kill these black strange insects before they grow up. If the black monsters have grown up, and I have no ability to kill them. Xiao Fan couldn't care too much, took out a bone spear and stabbed one of the little monsters, wanting to test whether he could kill these monsters, but to his disappointment, he couldn't kill them at all. The black monster was pierced in 2 by the bone spear, and he split into 2 black monsters again. It's too perverted. Chapter 168 The Perfect Girl Rhyme. Suddenly Xiao Fan had a flash of inspiration and had a very crazy idea. Can I collect all these little black monsters so that they have nothing to devour? Will this starve them all to death? Xiao Fan thought of this and did it right away. He knew that ordinary things would definitely not be able to trap these black strange insects. For example, it would be impossible to hold these black strange insects in an ordinary container, because these black strange insects are likely to swallow the container directly. Xiao Fan thought of a secret base of the interstellar iron beetle in his supernatural space, but he never thought of its use. Now maybe it can come in handy, and he can use this secret base to house all the black monsters. Maybe it will be successful. Xiao Fan also did what he said, and immediately took out the secret base in the supernatural space, and then started to work, putting all the black monsters into the secret base. Not to mention it really worked. Although those young black monsters were struggling desperately in the secret base, they couldn't escape from the secret base. Now that Xiao Fan found it really useful, of course he speeded up further and started collecting those weak black monsters, and sent them all to the secret base. Xiao Fan was busy for most of the day, and more than 100,000 black monsters were sent to the secret base. Then he conducted a detailed inspection within a few hundred miles around, and after confirming that there was nothing missing, he breathed a long sigh of relief. Xiao Fan still didn't feel at ease, and didn't leave immediately, and stayed where he was. This has a great advantage. If there is a fish that slipped through the net, he will be discovered by himself at the first time, and then he can be sent to the hospital immediately. Go inside the secret base. Xiao Fan suddenly became a little worried. Although these black monsters were temporarily sent to the secret base, what to do with the secret base? Due to the existence of the black monsters, the secret base would no longer be able to enter its own power space. Xiao Fan thought about it carefully again. This secret base must be carefully preserved, and it must not be obtained by the interstellar iron beetles. Are you busy? The interstellar iron beetle is likely to use these black monsters to deal with those giant beasts. In this way, the interstellar iron beetle is likely to escape the current predicament, and it will be a great disaster for his own planet and himself. Xiao Fan began to worry again. How to deal with this secret base? Xiao Fan wanted to use energy bombs to completely destroy the secret base, but he was worried that what would happen if more black monsters exploded? When Xiao Fan was thinking about it and couldn't make up his mind, he suddenly heard a very beautiful girl's voice. Little big brother, don't you know what to do with those little bugs? Would you like me to help you? Xiao Fan was startled when he heard the voice, and looked around hastily, but he didn't see anyone. Xiao Fan thought he was having auditory hallucinations, so he didn't care, but that sweet girl's voice sounded again. Little big brother, am I talking to you? Why are you pretending you didn't hear me? Do you want me to help you? Xiao Fan immediately confirmed that he had heard correctly, and hurriedly looked around, but still did not see any figure, not to mention no figure, even the shadow of a bird. Xiao Fan forced himself to calm down and asked, who are you? Don't play tricks, show up. Xiao Fan has recovered his original body now, so he is ready to turn into an interstellar iron beetle and fly away at any time. Because the opponent's method makes Xiao Fan feel uncertain, in case he is not the opponent's opponent, it is easier to escape by turning into an interstellar iron beetle. At this time, a bright silver figure appeared in front of the firefighters. At the beginning, it was a very vague outline, but it could still be seen that it was uneven and very moving later. This bright silver figure slowly solidified. Xiao Fan was really a little stunned. There is such a perfect girl. Xiao Fan felt that using any words to describe the girl in front of her was pale and powerless. No matter from which angle she looked at this girl, it would make anyone's tongue dry. It was an irresistible temptation. He can only use 2 words to express his current mood. Fuck, there is such a perfect woman in the world. The girl was wearing a strong military uniform, and she was even more heroic. She smiled and said, little big brother, your performance just now really surprised me. I didn't expect your ability to be so outstanding. Interstellar, the most elite Imperial guards of the Iron Beetle have been so pissed off by you. And you have eliminated all these strange insects, which really surprised me. Xiao Fan tried to calm himself down and asked, little sister, who are you? How did you appear here? It seems that you are not from this planet. The girl nodded and replied, little big brother, you are very right. I am indeed not from this planet. This is the first time I came to this planet. If I didn't have a more advanced language incubator, I would have no way to communicate with you. You communicate. I am chasing the interstellar iron beetle guards. Xiao Fan asked in surprise, are you from Princess Yujin? The girl nodded and said, the little big brother is really very smart, and he knows a lot, which surprised me even more. I am indeed Princess Yujin's personal bodyguard. My name is Li Yun. This time, I found this place based on the location of the spaceship you destroyed just now. Do those stupid interstellar iron beetles really think that Her Royal Highness has nothing to do with them? In fact, the spaceship that Her Royal Highness rewarded them can be carried out at any time. Positioned, Xiao Fan was shocked when she heard this. Princess Yujin could actually kill all the interstellar iron beetles at any time, but why didn't she do so? It can only show that there is a bigger conspiracy. I'm afraid they might want to use this matter to make arrangements to kill that Prince Mingjin. There is only this possibility. Otherwise it is absolutely impossible to explain why Princess Yujin did not kill all the interstellar iron beetles. Then this matter is definitely not something that I can get involved in, and I have absolutely no qualifications and ability to participate in it. In such a situation, Xiao Fan still has a clear understanding of himself. Chapter 169. Li Yun stopped in front of Xiao Fan and said, little big brother, you are very smart, you can understand a lot of things in an instant, But since I showed up, it is impossible for you to leave like this. Xiao Fan asked very cautiously, what do you mean by that? We are not enemies, and we actually have common enemies. Li Yun smiled and said, it is because we are not enemies. On the contrary, we have a common enemy, so I came out to meet you, otherwise you would have died in my hands, and I would not let you. I know how you died. I know the worries in your heart. You are worried that what I am doing will become very dangerous if you get involved, don't you think so? Xiao Fan nodded without hiding anything. Li Yun said, little big brother, this is indeed a very dangerous thing for you. But it is also a great opportunity for you. If you can seize this opportunity, I will definitely let you. You are satisfied with a return. Your planet is now devastated, at least I can bring your planet back to life. Do you think this return is enough? Xiao Fan didn't speak immediately, but just stared at Li Yun. Li Yun continued, little big brother, don't think I'm deceiving you. I'm capable of doing this, and I won't let you do particularly dangerous things. You just need to be one of my assistants, that's it. Xiao Fan asked, you still tell me, let me help you? Li Yun smiled and said, the little big brother is indeed very smart and very rational. I am surprised that he can maintain such a rationality when a beauty like me offers you such a big temptation, unexpected. Of course, this also proves that the little big brother is excellent, and further proves that the little big brother can be my assistant. Xiao Fan didn't speak, waiting for Li Yun to continue. Li Yun went on to say, actually, the appearance of the little big brother made me change my mind. My original task was to monitor this army of the interstellar iron beetle, but the little big brother used his own strength to take the guard. The sky group was almost completely destroyed, which made me realize that the little big brother can cooperate with me to kill all the interstellar iron beetles here. In this way, I have made a great contribution to Her Royal Highness, and I will give the little big brother the promised return. Xiao Fan shook his head and said, the matter is not as simple as you said. If Princess Yujin really wants to kill these interstellar iron beetles, there is no possibility that these interstellar iron beetles will survive. The reason why Princess Yujin did not do it, I'm afraid you want to use these interstellar iron beetles as bait. So it's impossible for you not to know this, so you asked me to be your assistant just to kill these interstellar iron beetles. It's absolutely impossible to be so simple. Li Yun's perfect big eyes almost narrowed into crescents and said, the little big brother is so powerful. He saw through my little tricks in person, which makes me look too stupid. I underestimated the little big brother's ability. I sincerely apologize to the little big brother. I hope the little big brother can forgive me for being stupid this time. Xiao Fan didn't speak. Li Yun continued, it's true that I didn't tell all my plans just now. I can explain all my plans to the little big brother now. Because the little big brother is so smart, I really don't need to continue to hide it. I believe that if this army of interstellar iron beetles is really in danger of being wiped out, Prince Mingjin should take action. Whether it is Prince Mingjin who makes the move himself or sends his subordinates to make the move, we will be caught by us. This is Princess Yujin. His true purpose is also my true purpose. Xiao Fan said, I think it's better for you not to do this. As a bodyguard, you should obey your princess orders, and you should do what the princess says. Changing your princess's orders without authorization is probably not right for you. A good thing, even if you can achieve your goal, your self-assertive behavior will make your princess very unhappy, and your princess will definitely be dissatisfied with you in her heart. Li Yun shook her head and explained, little big brother, you really don't understand our princess. If it is said that ordinary princesses do think so, but our princess will definitely not think so, but will feel it. To me, I am very satisfied, because I am very capable of adapting to changing circumstances. Xiao Fan said, even if your highness is really such a person, have you ever thought about why we can destroy the entire army of interstellar iron beetles? Even if we can do this, have you ever thought about it? No. If Prince Mingjin really sent people to deal with the two of us, is it possible for the two of us to escape and ascend to heaven? Besides, why did Prince Mingjin send people to rescue them? Li Yun smiled and said, Prince Mingjin will definitely send someone. In fact, as long as Prince Mingjin sends people to rescue me, the goal will be achieved. Of course, they need to prove their identities. This is not a particularly difficult thing for me. Of course I have a way to get out of here safely. Xiao Fan sneered, of course you have a way to leave here safely, but what about my planet? What about me? What about my people? When the time comes, they will all get angry on us, my planet. It may be completely over, and all my people will follow suit. Have you considered for me, pass the test from my people? So I can't help you with this favor. If you insist on doing it yourself, I will. There is no way to stop you. I can only do my best to protect my people. Li Yun smiled and said, little big brother, don't worry. I must have a way to save your planet and protect your people. On this point, I will never deceive you in any way. You have to be kind to me. Confidence, and I can also help all of your people awaken their abilities, awaken very powerful abilities. Do you think the benefits I give you are big enough? Risks and benefits coexist. Could it be that for such a huge benefit, you also isn't it worth the risk for you? Not to mention that Xiao Fan is really lost in thought. What the girl Li Yun said is really very reasonable. Risks and benefits always coexist. Sometimes the greater the risk, the greater the benefits naturally. The key is whether the words of the little girl in front of me are reliable or not. This is the first time I have dealt with this little girl. What if I am fooled by this little girl? After I am used up by this little girl, she leaves on her own. If you don't care about yourself, then what awaits you can only be a tragic ending. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 170 The Most Shameless Exchange. Li Yun is also a very smart girl, and immediately said with a smile, I know that the little big brother doesn't have complete trust in me. No matter what I say, it is impossible to gain the absolute trust of the little big brother. After all, we just met, we were completely strangers to each other before this. But little big brother still asks you to accept my suggestion. You just treat it as a gamble. What if you win? Xiao Fan said, I need your help now. Have you seen the black monsters in this secret base? Can you help me kill all these monsters? I don't have the ability to kill them. Don't even know how to kill them, so I want you to do me a favor. Li Yun nodded and replied, this kind of mutated monsters were not so powerful in the first place. It must be because their eggs were stimulated by the strong electromagnetic stimulation during the spaceflight and the interference of the ruins, which produced such a terrifying mutation. But for me, killing them is still a very small thing. Xiao Fan listened to these very calm words, but her heart was actually very uneasy. The gap between the two sides is a bit big, and it is not usually big. Li Yun smiled and asked, little big brother, do you still want this so-called secret base? Xiao Fan thought for a while and said, let's keep it for me, maybe I will be useful in the future. Li Yun suggested, if I were you, I would not want it. Do you know the reason? Because these things are with positioning. As long as the interstellar iron beetle wants to find you with these positioning, it will definitely be able to find you. Xiao Fan was taken aback when he heard this. Why did he ignore such an important issue? Then he couldn't keep this thing. Keeping it would be a disaster for him sooner or later. So Xiao Fan said, then please help me destroy this thing together. Li Yun nodded. Suddenly a big red light ball appeared in her hand, and then threw the big red light ball above the secret base. Li Yun hurriedly pulled Xiao Fan away quickly. The big red light group expanded rapidly, covering the entire secret base in a very short moment, and then the big red light group seemed to have life and began to quickly swallow the entire secret base. That is, less than 10 seconds. In a short time, the entire secret base was swallowed up, including those black monsters in the secret base. Immediately afterwards, the big red light group exploded violently, and the thing produced by the explosion was only red light. And those black strange insects completely disappeared. Xiao Fan was dumbfounded. What kind of weapon is this? Li Yun explained, in fact, this is also a kind of energy bomb, but it is a relatively high-level energy bomb, and the energy bombs owned by the interstellar iron beetle are very primitive energy bombs, and the energy bomb in my hand in comparison, it's several levels behind. Xiao Fan swallowed a mouthful of saliva. Can I give some of this stuff to the big brother? I mean, since you recognize me as a big brother, you always have to give the big brother a little gift, and the big brother doesn't pick either. Just give a few energy bombs. Li Yun stared at Xiao Fan in disbelief. Why did this man suddenly become so shameless? Xiao Fan said with an embarrassed smile, of course the big brother should give you a little gift, and the big brother will not be rude. This food is very delicious, I hope my sister likes it. Xiao Fan took out a few pieces of candy from his supernatural space and handed them to Li Yun. Li Yun looked at the candy in front of her eyes and said, little big brother, I've seen shameless people before, but this is the first time I've seen someone as shameless as you. Xiao Fan coughed lightly a few times and said, my dear sister, I think exchanging gifts between us is actually an effective way for us to build a relationship of trust. Does my little sister think this is the case? Li Yun stared at Xiao Fan, nodded for a while and said, I only carry 2 pairs of such energy bombs on me, and now I give you 1 pair. But you remember that this thing is very precious, and it is not a last resort. Don't use it casually. Only now did Xiao Fan see that Li Yun was wearing bracelet-like objects on both wrists. Li Yun took off the bracelet-like object from his left hand and handed it to Xiao Fan, saying, take this on your wrist. On the wrist, it can be integrated with your wrist, and you can directly control this device through your own brain ideas. There are a total of 9 energy bombs in it, 1 has been used just now, so there are 8 left. As long as you, when using it, open it silently in your mind, take out an energy bomb, and the energy bomb will automatically appear in your hand, and then you can use the energy bomb to attack the target you want to attack. Xiao Fan took the bracelet unceremoniously, and then put it on his right wrist. Sure enough, just as he put it on his hand, it established a connection with his brain. This technology is really not built, it is really many times more advanced than the planet I am on. Xiao Fan got a good deal and said obediently, little sister, I think you are a bit reluctant to give this thing to me. Li Yun replied suspiciously, why do you ask this question? Since I have already decided to give this thing to you, there is no parting or reluctance, Xiao Fan said with a smile. Before Big Brother asked you for a gift, you called each other Little Big Brother, but after giving this thing to Big Brother, you started calling you instead of Little Big Brother. Li Yun looked at Xiao Fan and smiled, are you a bit too thick-skinned? Do you still want me to call you Little Big Brother? Xiao Fan nodded and said, let me tell you some secrets about getting along with people on our planet. Only when you master these secrets can you get along happily with people on our planet. For half a caddy. Of course, you may not understand what I said for a while, so let me explain it to you like this. Li Yun listened very seriously to Xiao Fan's serious nonsense. Xiao Fan said flickeringly, the meaning of this sentence can be understood in layman's terms, that is, if you really regard me as a big brother, I will really treat you as a younger sister. Now that you can give me such a precious gift, maybe I will work my life for you. So don't think that you are at a disadvantage, you use your temporary disadvantage in exchange for a huge advantage in the future. Li Yun smiled and said, I understand what Little Big Brother means. You exchanged these few candies for my pair of energy bombs. In fact, I am taking advantage of you, Little Big Brother. Chapter 171 You bitch. Li Yun sighed in her heart, did she find the wrong partner? This guy is so shameless. Xiao Fan stretched out his hand and stuffed a candy into Li Yun's palm and said, maybe my big brother's gift is worthless now, but there is a saying on this planet that sending goose feather gifts from thousands of miles away is less affectionate. If you don't believe me, try this thing really, very sweet. Li Yun was very helpless and took a few candies. Li Yun said, now I not only help you solve a big problem, but also gave such a precious gift to the Little Big Brother. Can we discuss the specific cooperation plan? Xiao Fan nodded hurriedly and said, of course, there is no problem. Li Yun finally showed a satisfied smile and said, my plan is very simple. I need the Little Big Brother to continue the previous conspiracy, and be able to kill the headquarters of the interstellar iron beetle. How to implement the Little Big Brother's plan, the Little Big Brother can decide for himself, and if the Little Big Brother needs my help in this process, the Little Big Brother can bring it up now. Xiao Fan said suspiciously, little sister, in fact, there is a saying on this planet that brothers and sisters have to settle accounts. You are completely letting me go on an adventure alone. I think you should give Big Brother some life-saving guy. When the Big Brother and I are in danger, I will be more sure. Li Yun said displeased, how thick is your skin, and how much benefit do you want to extort from me? I promise you to help you rebuild the planet, help you solve the troubles of those strange insects, and help you solve your enemies. I gave you such a precious energy bomb, and you are still not satisfied. Xiao Fan hurriedly said, little sister, please don't be angry, we have to discuss everything. I know that my demands seem to be too much, but little sister, think about it, I'm risking my life. And you also said, if I have any requests before that, just ask. Li Yun said angrily, you stinky shameless person, I'm just saying that if you need my help, just mention it. Xiao Fan said very seriously, isn't this all the same thing? I am going to carry out such a dangerous task, and I am helping my little sister. I naturally hope that my little sister can help Big Brother to save his life. Could it be that Big Brother is this request too much? I think it is completely reasonable. and it is completely within the scope of my little sister's promise, Li Yun said angrily. Okay, you have a thick skin. I will give you a life-saving thing right now. Li Yun said that there was already a bright silver thing as thin as a cicada's wing that was only as big as a fingernail and said, this is a defensive light shield. When you are in danger, you can rely on your mind to activate this defensive light shield. Shield can guarantee absolute safety for you for 15 minutes, Xiao Fan said with some disappointment. It's only 15 minutes, it seems not enough. Is there a longer time? I mean, like 15 hours, Li Yun scolded. How about you, shameless? You shameless, I'm almost mad at you. This is what I used for myself. I gave it to you. You, shameless, don't know foot, Xiao Fan said seriously. My good sister, I think you should pay special attention when you talk to Big Brother. If you really want to do something to Big Brother, I will not refuse Big Brother, but I think you, as a girl children, you still have to pay attention to your own image. In fact, there are some things that don't need to be said, just give Big Brother a hint. Although Xiao Fan said so, he took the defensive light shield and ceremoniously and asked, how does this thing activate? Li Yun suppressed her anger and explained, stick it to any part of your body, and when you use it, you only need to inject your own supernatural power into this defensive light shield to activate it. Xiao Fan looked at it carefully, and couldn't help but think that this is really a good thing, and it must not be used unless it is absolutely necessary. I have a lot of fighting experience, and maybe other people should use it, for example. For Mu Hong or Yu Wenli, of course Zhang Weilin awakened the ability of immortality, so I'm afraid they don't need it. Li Yun asked, bitch, is it time to carry out our plan? Xiao Fan said angrily, I said you are a bit too much? Why don't you even call Big Brother, and stop calling if you don't call? But you can't scold me, Li Yun said helplessly. Is it possible to carry out the plan now? Xiao Fan asked. Actually, the plan can be implemented now, but before implementing the plan, I still have 2 questions for you to explain. First, I believe that you are absolutely capable of killing all those interstellar iron beetles. Why don't you do it yourself? Second, why are you sure that Prince Mingjin's people will come to rescue? Li Yun replied, I can't show up in person at the moment, because I can't let the people of Prince Mingjin know that everything they do is under the control of Princess Yujin. As for why the people of Prince Mingjin will definitely rescue, the reason is also very simple, because Prince Mingjin handed over a very important thing to the interstellar iron beetle. As for what it is, don't ask, it won't do you any good if you ask, I'm afraid it can only be a dead end. Xiao Fan nodded and replied, I understand, then I won't ask any more. Anyway, this time I have entered a huge whirlpool. I hope you can fulfill your promise and ensure my safety when the time comes. Xiao Fan also knew that Li Yun might give up on him at any time, but he decided to cooperate. Isn't it because you expressed your willingness to cooperate? So in order to get more benefits, Xiao Fan believes that it is very worthwhile to take risks no matter what, and the benefits and risks are always directly proportional. Li Yun nodded and said, I believe in your wisdom. If there are no other questions, let's start. At this time, suddenly a cold and extremely beautiful female voice said, I think you should stop for a while. I don't know if there is any problem with this stinky man, but I have a lot of problems here that need you to explain. If your explanation doesn't satisfy me, you're all dead. Chapter 172 Li Yun was plotted against. Li Yun was taken aback and said, Concubine Mingjun, I didn't expect you to come in person. Prince Mingjun really spent his money this time, and even sent his fiancée here. It's no wonder you were able to break through the hidden track I arranged. EMI has found us. Concubine Mingjun sneered and said, it's just a small anti-stalking method, it's a trivial matter for me. Since Li Yun let you see me, it means your death is coming. But you make me feel it was very unexpected, never expected that you would think of cooperating with the indigenous men of this planet. Don't you feel that your princess has lost face? And you were blackmailed by him like this? Xiao Fan said angrily, what do you have to be proud of? Why would you be ashamed of cooperating with me? You look down on me now, believe it or not, one day you will kneel in front of me, and I won't even let you down. Concubine Mingjun said angrily, damn aboriginal man, die to me. Concubine Mingjun's eyes suddenly shot 2 silver rays. Xiao Fan immediately felt the danger of death. Xiao Fan didn't dare to dodge in a hurry, and took out a bone spear in his hand, waiting for an opportunity to fight back, but Xiao Fan obviously underestimated Concubine Mingjun's attack. These 2 silver rays can constantly change the attack direction. No matter how Xiao Fan changes his direction, The two lines of sight contract in time, and the acceleration is faster. Xiao Fan couldn't help cursing in his heart. He just got a defensive light shield. He wouldn't just waste it because of this stinky bitch. If this is really the case, it's too miserable. At this moment, Li Yun punched the two rays. This punch scattered the two rays with countless electric glows, but Li Yun didn't feel well either, obviously because of the impact of those rays. Backlashed by the two rays, the body kept retreating, and his face became very pale. Li Yun shouted at Xiao Fan, "This is no longer your battlefield, you have no ability to participate in such a battle. Get out of here immediately." After Xiao Fan heard this, he turned around and left without looking back. He also knew that he was really not qualified to participate in such a battle, and staying by himself would only become a burden to Li Yun. Be a victim. Concubine Mingjun didn't attack Xiao Fan, but looked at Li Yun and said sarcastically, "That lowly aboriginal man blackmailed you so much, but you still saved his life and asked him to leave here first. I'm really a bit embarrassed. I don't understand. Do you have a crush on him? It really doesn't make any sense. Princess Yujin is the most popular person in front of you, so many young heroes, you don't seem to exist in your eyes. How could you treat him like this? A native man is so good." Li Yun sneered and said, "Concubine Mingjun, since only one of the two of us must be able to leave here alive today, then let's go to decisive battle directly, and don't use such unknown tricks to disturb my mentality. I want to tell you yes, don't waste your efforts in vain, it's useless at all. The reason why I let him leave here is because he has the ability to fight against the interstellar iron beetles, and even destroy them all." Concubine Mingjun shook her head and replied, "Maybe this man is really a bit unusual, but it's really nothing to me. I can destroy his entire planet after I kill you. What qualifications do you think he has to come here, fight against me? So your calculations are likely to fail." Li Yun smiled and said, "I don't know if my plan is going to fail, but I am very sure of one thing, that is, even if I die here today, you don't want to leave safely." Concubine Mingjun sarcastically said, "Li Yun, even if you are mentally prepared to die, it is impossible for you to hurt me a single bit. Do you want to die with me? It is even more impossible. Today I will let you know how huge the gap is between the two of us, a gap that you will never be able to cross." Concubine Mingjun said, suddenly stretched out her right hand and slapped Li Yun fiercely. Li Yun also slapped back with countless electric lights, but Concubine Mingjun didn't seem to use any supernatural power in this slap, but completely broke up Li Yun's palm of lightning, and even slapped Li Yun's face. Li Yun was slapped and spun around in the air several times before falling hard on the ground. A mouthful of blood spit out, Li Yun was just about to use the energy bomb, but found that her wrist was stepped on by Concubine Mingjun, and then the entire energy bomb device was trampled and scrapped. Li Yun knew that she was finished, and she had no power to resist. She asked very unwillingly, "How is this possible? You were evenly divided with me a few months ago?" Concubine Mingjun sneered and said, "Does it surprise you? I can tell you a secret. Prince Mingjun collected the original energy of 3 civilized planets for me, and used those original energy to help me improve my overall level just a month ago, my ability level. Of course you are very curious, why you were able to disperse my 2-ray attacks just now. I told you that I did it on purpose. Do you know why?" Li Yun asked. "You deliberately gave him a chance to escape." Concubine Mingjun shook her head and replied, "Li Yun, you are such an idiot. How can such an indigenous man be taken into consideration by me? I really know you very well, and I know you will definitely save him, so when I used rays to attack him, I injected a lot of anesthesia into the rays, so you were vulnerable in front of me just now, because you didn't realize that I was plotting against you just now." Li Yun was shocked and said, "Is what you said true or false? I was tricked by you, and there is no difference at all? But I didn't feel any weakening of my supernatural ability." Concubine Mingjun proudly said, "This is because the anesthesia power I injected into your body is very, very strong. It anesthetizes not only your supernatural powers, but also your thinking and mind, so of course you will not be aware of your supernatural powers. Something has weakened." Li Yun said angrily, "Do you want to capture me alive to ask for credit?" Concubine Mingjun stretched out her tongue and licked her lips and said, "Why should I take you for credit? I can't bear to do that. Let me tell you a secret of mine. In fact, I like men more than men. I like women, especially you. I have long wanted to get it." Chapter 173 Xiao Fan and number 039, S Unexpected Joy. Concubine Mingjun suddenly took out a small blue ball from her body and threw it into the air. The small blue ball immediately formed a mysterious space. That is to say, this space does not exist. Concubine Mingjun uses this special device to open up a space for herself and Li Yun, and it is also an invisible space. The space is very luxurious, and there is a special energy bed. Concubine Mingjun smiled and said, Li Yun, did you see that sleeping on this energy bed can help improve our cell genes all the time, and our supernatural powers will increase rapidly without knowing it? This is a gift from Prince Mingjun. It's a pity that he never got the chance to sleep with me because I never gave him the chance. Do you know why? Li Yun also calmed down at this time, and said sarcastically, I really didn't expect that you would be such a pervert, that you would do such dirty things, so I don't worry that one day Prince Mingjun will discover your true face, and then kick you away. Concubine Mingjun smiled and said, I don't care if you will find out on the future, at least he hasn't been found out now. I just want to have fun with you now, Li Yun. I have been greedy for you for a long time. If it wasn't because of you here, you thought I would. Did you come here? I came here nominally to perform a mission, but in fact the real purpose is because of you, Li Yun said angrily. You really won't let me go? At this time, Li Yun also realized that she was really plotted against. Although her thinking and cognition were also anesthetized, she could also realize that she had gradually lost her ability to act. Concubine Mingjun picked up Li Yun and walked towards the energy bed. Li Yun instantly turned into a newborn lamb, pure and flawless. Li Yun completely lost her ability to move. Just as Concubine Mingjun was so happy that she knelt at Li Yun's feet and did whatever she wanted, suddenly she felt a pain in her head and lost consciousness instantly. Li Yun hurriedly looked over and saw Xiao Fan knocking Concubine Mingjun unconscious with a bone spear in his hand. At this moment, Li Yun saw Xiao Fan crying with joy. This man did not expect that what he said to himself before was true. He said that the gift he gave him would be replaced by him working hard for himself in the future. He did not expect that he would really come back to fight for himself. He worked hard and saved himself. Li Yun suddenly realized that something was wrong, and immediately said, Don't look at it anymore, you are so ashamed. I was plotted against by this stinky woman. I can't move my whole body now. Come and help me fix my clothes, please. Don't look anymore. Only then did Xiao Fan come back to her senses, and then walked to Li Yun's side, took the clothes beside her and helped her tidy her appearance. Li Yun said angrily, I regard you as a gentleman, but you deliberately take advantage of me. Xiao Fan said embarrassedly, I didn't mean it. Why don't you do it yourself? Li Yun said helplessly, look at you, you are no longer in sage mode, just take it as an outlet for me, avenge me, and restore sage mode on this stinky woman. Xiao Fan still has reason, and hurriedly shook his head and replied, although Xiao Fan, am not a gentleman, I will never take advantage of others. Li Yun said angrily. What are you pretending to be a good person? Are you going to do it or not? Look at you, you are almost turning into a donkey. What are you still trying to do? She is Concubine Mingjun, she has given you a lot of money. Hurry up, don't let me look down on you. Xiao Fan looked at Concubine Mingjun. Perfect. Li Yun finally saw that Xiao Fan had lost her last shred of sanity, and she actually felt a sense of revenge. How did Xiao Fan get into Concubine Mingjun's secret space? Because Xiao Fan did not leave at all, it is impossible for others to enter this hidden space. To be precise, to find this hidden space, but it is not too difficult for Xiao Fan. When it suddenly appeared, Xiao Fan knew what was going on, so he used his supernatural power space to close the passageway of the secret space, and he recovered after entering it. As for why Concubine Mingjun was attacked by surprise, the reason is very simple. First of all, Concubine Mingjun never expected that someone would enter her secret space, and just now Concubine Mingjun was indeed doing something wrong with Li Yun wholeheartedly, so she was attacked by Xiao Fan without any precautions, so Concubine Mingjun was out of luck. When she woke up, she immediately felt that something was wrong. She slowly opened her eyes and felt a tearing pain in her body. It really hurts. This is a kind of pain that she has never experienced before. Concubine Mingjun felt that she couldn't move her whole body. She hurriedly looked at herself and found that she was locked tightly by an energy lock, and Li Yun had already arranged her clothes, and stood in front of her and looked at herself coldly. Could it be that Li Yun did something to her? Concubine Mingjun smiled and said, Li Yun, I never thought you would play me so hard, it hurts me so much to be played by you. Li Yun sneered and said, shut up from me, you look carefully before you speak, I didn't touch you. I saw a good show just now. If Prince Mingjun finds out, he will definitely go crazy. Concubine Mingjun knew that something was wrong when she heard this. Could it be that there are other people here, or is it a man? How is this possible? How is it possible for someone to enter his secret space? That is the secret space released by the most advanced secret device, and it is impossible for other men to enter. But Concubine Mingjun still hurriedly looked around. Her pupils shrank sharply, and she saw Xiao Fan, who was sleeping soundly on the other side. Xiao Fan was really exhausted, so now he fell asleep without thinking. Concubine Mingjun shouted, "Li Yun, how could you treat me like this? I love you so much, yet you let other men treat me like this. I hate you to death." Li Yun sneered and said, "Shut your mouth in the end, don't say such disgusting things to me again. Remember that you are a woman. I am also a woman, and there can be no love between us. So what you did before this matter is a great defense to me. All I have done to you is to treat others in the same way. Why do you feel that you have been greatly insulted now? But you have. I never thought that what you did to me just now made me feel a great humiliation. So this world is very fair. Since you have insulted others, you must be prepared to be insulted by others." Chapter 174, Concubine Mingjun Who Surrendered. Li Yun squatted in front of her and said, "Why do you feel wronged now? Are you still sad? But you haven't thought about my feelings? But I don't think you need to be too sad. He is really a very good man, although he is an indigenous man. Maybe you look down on him very much, but you don't know how brave he is just now." Concubine Mingjun roared angrily, "Shut up, shut up." But the violent roar caused the tearing pain on her body, and Concubine Mingjun showed a very painful expression. It also woke up Xiao Fan, who was sleeping soundly beside her. Xiao Fan opened his eyes to look at Concubine Mingjun. "This woman is so fucking enjoyable." Concubine Mingjun glanced at Xiao Fan, who had woken up, then closed her eyes again, her face full of pain. She is a very proud person. Before that, she didn't even allow Prince Mingjun to touch herself, even if the two of them were engaged. She didn't allow it, but today she was torn apart by Xiao Fan, and she couldn't accept it no matter what. Not only did she feel a huge humiliation at this moment, but her heart was also filled with endless hatred, wishing to tear Xiao Fan to pieces. However, Li Yun said very happily, "Concubine Mingjun, I don't think you need to be so excited at all. Open your eyes and look at your new man. He is really excellent. I think he is even better than Prince Mingjun." Xiao Fan smiled wryly. He knew that Li Yun was using him to take revenge on Concubine Mingjun. Concubine Mingjun looked at Li Yun and said angrily, "Don't you think you haven't hurt me enough, and you want to tear my wounds apart again and again? Don't you really have me in your heart?" Li Yun sneered, "I would rather have him than you in my heart. I'm not a pervert like you. I'm a very normal woman. You make me feel very sick, but he doesn't make me feel disgusted. I hope he can help you cure your pervert." Concubine Mingjun predicted that her nightmare seemed to be coming again, so she hurriedly asked, "Li Yun, do you still want him to hurt me again? Are you really so cruel?" Li Yun shook her head. Concubine Mingjun's heart was relieved when she raised her voice for a moment, but what Li Yun said immediately made Concubine Mingjun feel like she was pouring cold water into despair. Li Yun sneered and said, "I think you are too crooked. I want him to help you straighten you. When will you be able to straighten, and when will it be over?" Li Yun pushed Xiao Fan and said, "It's yours again. Work harder." Apart from taking revenge on Concubine Mingjun, Li Yun has another plan, which is to subdue Concubine Mingjun completely and make Concubine Mingjun a pawn in her hands. After watching this kind of drama for a while, Li Yun felt that she was hot all over, but she held on and endured it. Concubine Mingjun didn't know how many violent shocks she had experienced, and finally climbed to the top of the mountain. At first, she didn't feel anything other than pain and humiliation, but now it's completely different. Although she won't admit it even if she is killed. But she knew in her heart that she had actually fallen in love with this feeling. This man is really strong, and not just ordinary. When everything is calm and Li Yun feels something is wrong, Concubine Mingjun won't be really emotional. Li Yun sat next to Concubine Mingjun and asked, "Why do I feel that something is wrong with you? Could it be that you fell in love with this indigenous man? Before, you kept saying that you despised him very much. How did you become so fast? If you let Prince Mingjun knows that, you will change your mind. He will definitely be heartbroken." Concubine Mingjun simply closed her eyes, pretending she didn't hear anything, and didn't respond to anything. Xiao Fan said at this time, "I am very curious now. You see, I have done you such a big favor. I have some questions. You should explain to me. What happened to Prince Mingjun and Princess Yujin? What are they, relationship? And where are you from? Li Yun pushed concubine Mingjun, who was pretending to be a dead pig, and said, come and explain this problem. Li Yun deliberately wanted concubine Mingjun to answer. She just wanted to completely conquer this woman physically and mentally. Concubine Mingjun pretended not to hear anything and didn't speak at all. Li Yun sneered and said, don't take this chance. I have recorded everything just now. Believe it or not, I will send it back now. First let my princess appreciate it, and then let Prince Mingjun appreciate it. Concubine Mingjun shouted, Li Yun, how can you have the heart to treat me like this? Don't you think that you are treating me a little too cruelly? But I treat you wholeheartedly? Li Yun said disgustedly. Don't disgust me. Answer the question quickly. Concubine Mingjun knew that she couldn't do it if she didn't want to, so she could only say, Prince Mingjun is the big brother of Princess Yujin, but he is a half-brother. He knows what you did to me, and your entire planet can't be saved. Xiao Fan didn't worry too much when he heard it. He didn't believe that this woman would take the initiative to tell this matter, and he didn't worry about Li Yun, because Li Yun could only keep the secret forever, that is to say, only let this secret become a secret. A secret. This secret has value, otherwise it has no value, so Li Yun will definitely keep it a secret. Concubine Mingjun went on to say, we are all from the Jade Emperor Star Realm, a higher-level civilized star region than your planet. The reason why we came here is entirely because of the open and secret fight between Prince Mingjun and Princess Yujin for the heir. It serves the battle between the two of them. Xiao Fan asked curiously, but why did Prince Mingjun use the interstellar iron beetle? Concubine Mingjun shook her head and replied, it's not using the interstellar iron beetle. Prince Mingjun set up a game for the interstellar iron beetle. The greedy and stupid interstellar iron beetle just chose to enter the game. Of course, if Prince Mingjun's plan can be realized in the end, the interstellar iron beetle it will discredit Princess Yujin. But Princess Yujin has realized that Prince Mingjun's plan has been obstructing, so it has developed into such an unmanageable situation. Xiao Fan asked even more curiously, can you make it clearer? I'm confused. Concubine Mingjun said seriously, are you sure you want to understand the whole thing clearly? It's not a good thing for you. Usually, the more you know, the faster you may die. I think you don't know it so clearly. What do you think? Xiao Fan said indifferently, you think me and you're like this. Is there anything more serious than this? So I don't care about anything now. Tell me everything you know. Don't hide it anymore. Cover up. Chapter 175. What Xiao Fan said is indeed true. Can anything be more serious than this? One concubine Mingjun then said, the Jade Emperor is about to usher in the 50th anniversary of proclaiming himself emperor. Prince Mingjun knows that Princess Yujin has carefully prepared a special and precious gift. This gift will definitely make the Jade Emperor very satisfied. Prince Mingjun, but I don't want Princess Yujin to be in the limelight, so I want the interstellar iron beetle to attack other Princess Yujin forces, so the rebellion of Princess Yujin's forces will definitely make the Jade Emperor very angry. Li Yun sneered, it's not using the interstellar iron beetle, but do you think your plan will succeed? Instead, you gave my princess a chance to get rid of all disloyal forces. Concubine Mingjun smiled wryly and remained silent. Xiao Fan asked, but why did you come here? What is the reason why Prince Mingjun had to agree with you to come here? Concubine Mingjun looked at Li Yun and said, she knows more, you can ask her. Li Yun sneered, I just want you to sell Prince Mingjun from body to soul. Concubine Mingjun laughed at herself and said, I am now in this shape, and I have nothing to hide, so I will tell you everything. Because Prince Mingjun has a child who is in the interstellar iron beetle command? Xiao Fan coughed violently, his whole face was flushed, his body was shaking violently. How exaggerated the whole person's reaction was. Concubine Mingjun didn't understand Xiao Fan's reaction. As for such a big reaction, Li Yun sneered, it's not what you think, Prince Mingjun doesn't have such a strong taste yet. Xiao Fan was choked again and asked, what's going on? Only then did Concubine Ming realize something, and explained, it's like this, the interstellar iron beetle belongs to the slave class in our star field. According to the rules of the Jade Emperor star field, if you want to get rid of the slave class, you must constantly upgrade your genes bloodline. So in order to tempt the interstellar iron beetle, Prince Mingjun gave one of his gene fragments to a larva of the interstellar iron beetle, so that the interstellar iron beetle is willing to use the entire race to take risks. Xiao Fan said, but this can't be regarded as Prince Mingjun's child. Li Yun smiled and said, It may not be counted on your planet, but in our star field, this is also recognized as one of his descendants, so Prince Mingjin must cover up this truth no matter what, and absolutely must not let anyone know about him. The gene fragment of the interstellar iron beetle was actually given to the interstellar iron beetle to upgrade the class. That's why I said before that Prince Mingjin will definitely come. Even if he doesn't come in person, he will definitely send his own people. Xiao Fan was even more puzzled and asked, isn't it enough to just kill him? Let's do a thorough destruction of corpses and traces. Concubine Mingjun smiled wryly and said, it's not as simple as you think. Princess Yujin's people have been watching closely all the time. How could they allow Prince Mingjun to make a move easily? I'm afraid Princess Yujin is still waiting for Prince Mingjun to make a move. This if not, I will become the prey of Li Yun, and now I am afraid I have to be her secret son. My fate is destined to be a tragedy in the future. This is all your fault. I was able to conquer her. But now I am conquered by her instead. Xiao Fan said seriously, you can figure it out for me, okay? I conquered you. Besides, you still want to be the woman of Prince Mingjun, Concubine Mingjun said angrily. Do you think it's still possible? It's absolutely impossible. If I really marry Prince Mingjun, he will already find out that I am not perfect, and my end will be very miserable. Li Yun sarcastically said, if you are disobedient in the future, I will show these videos to Prince Mingjun. I am very much looking forward to what will happen to you. What methods will Prince Mingjun use to deal with you? Concubine Mingjun said angrily. Li Yun, you are really more vicious than Princess Yujin. I curse you that you will never find a man in your life. Li Yun looked at Xiao Fan and asked, if I am willing to be your woman, would you like me? Xiao Fan nodded naturally. Li Yun smiled and said, look, how could it be possible that you can't find a man in your life? Concubine Mingjun suddenly sarcastically said, if I tell the story of today, you will not be much better than me. Do you believe that the image you have carefully built for a long time will collapse in an instant? Xiao Fan smiled and said, I said you two should stop bickering at this time. Now that we are a family, we should discuss how to solve the problem in front of us. We have to discuss and find a solution. It cannot only allow the two of you to go back to work, but also keep my people and my planet safe, and also wipe out all the interstellar iron beetles. Li Yun sighed, there is no such simple thing. If I am the only one here, I don't mind doing what you say. I will give you a big face, and I am worthy of you as a friend. But here I am not the only one sent by Princess Yujin. Concubine Mingjun is definitely not alone. Concubine Mingjun nodded and replied, it is true that I am not alone here. It is very difficult to hide everything from other people's eyes and ears, and as long as there is a little bit of cheating, the three of us will be caught. Doubt, we are all screwed. Xiao Fan said, I have a method here. Think about it for yourself. Go and find a way to gather your people together. Li Yun. Concubine Mingjun, no, what is your real name? You are obviously my woman now. I always call you Concubine Mingjun and feel that I am at a disadvantage. Li Yun smiled and said, don't you think you are taking advantage very much? She is obviously the concubine of Prince Mingjun, but she submits to you. The one who really takes advantage and feels exciting should be you. Concubine Mingjun gave Li Yun a hard look and said, call me Yushu? Li Yun teased, actually, this time you took a huge advantage. She is a princess from a high-level civilized planet, named Princess Yashu. Otherwise, how could she be qualified to be the concubine that Prince Mingjun prearranged? Xiao Fan snorted and said, I really look down on this prince. I can just be a turtle with a shrunken head, and then let my own woman come out to fight for me. I can't do such a thing no matter what. Yushu said, I asked to come here, not for Li Yun. Xiao Fan coughed dryly with black lines on his face. Let's talk about our business. Yushu, you gather all Prince Mingjun's people together, and then give me some powerful methods. I will kill all the interstellar iron beetles now. What do you think of this? End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.